A knife attack at a shopping center in the Czech Republic has left 2 people dead.
Police say they detained a teenage suspect in connection with the stabbings in a store in a city east of Prague. Reports initially said the victims had been injured, but police later said both had died. A 16-year-old Czech national was detained by police near the scene shortly after the attack, where a knife was found nearby. The motive is not immediately known, and police say the situation is now under control with no danger to the public. I'm Nayan Kim.
The Canadian government is moving ahead with a multi-billion-dollar plan to build a high-speed rail network between Quebec City and Toronto. The planned rail network will be 100% electric. It will span 620 miles. Trains could reach speeds of up to 187 miles per hour. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the government will commit $2.74 billion over 6 years, starting in the current fiscal year, to iron out specifics before construction can begin. News and analysis, townhall.com. As the war in Ukraine drags on and on, a rift has opened up between the presidents of the United States and Ukraine.
President Trump blasted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky,
a dictator without elections,
at a business conference in Miami, saying
the only thing he was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. He played him like a fiddle.
The leaders of Germany and the UK among those jumping to Zelensky's defense. Prime Minister Keir Starmer noting Britain suspended elections during World War II, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz calling it wrong and dangerous to deny Zelensky's democratic legitimacy. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Crews have been working to fix a large water main break. It left dozens of people in a Detroit neighborhood without power and heat. More than 90 people had to be helped from their homes after the nearly century-old 54-inch water main burst, leaving streets and basements flooded during sub-freezing temperatures. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy frigid Thursday, everybody. It's a chilly one out there. The temp is cold, but it's not really the problem. I mean, the temp is 19, and that's cold, but there's this wind chill thing going on, and it feels like -7 out there right now with the wind chill value. So it is freezing out. We are in a cold weather advisory that's going to remain in effect through 9 o'clock today, but it is cold today. It's going to be cold all day. We're going to, our high today, according to the National Weather Service, is 34 degrees. So, oh, I got to turn you on. Huh? Sorry about that, Roy.
Yesterday the sun came out a little bit.
Yeah, it for a minute. Allegedly. If you blinked, you missed it. But yeah.
It was right as soon as I was like walking out of my house. I was like, oh, the clouds are,
just for a minute, and then back to normal. But Sean is under the weather this morning, so he's home recuperating. That's going around. A lot of people are sick right now with COVID or flu or stomach bug. Or trying to avoid all this stuff. I usually get all the colds and things, and so I'm in between it now.
I think I'm just getting the stomach bug part.
Yeah.
But everyone else around me is getting sick, so yeah. I'm usually the one that gets sick.
Well, it's going around. So, But bundle up if you're going on. That's the message here. I'll get you the weather here in just a little bit with the rest. Because to be honest, if we can get through today and kind of tomorrow, because we'll be in the mid 40s tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But this weekend is nice. I mean, Saturday we're going to be 60. Okay, now they're saying 56 for Saturday. But Sunday, 71, 80 on Monday, 79 next Tuesday, 74 next Wednesday. So we got to get through today and tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I'm seeing like winds up to like 15 miles per hour, today.
Yeah, today we're looking at 10 to 15 miles an hour, which is not bad normally, but with the cold temperatures, it's going to make it feel with wind chill values of 0 and below here today. So it's going to feel cold all day.
Yeah. That being said, it didn't feel as cold as it did like this morning as it did yesterday morning.
Yeah, yesterday felt worse to me. Yeah. But I will say this, when I first got out, like I at home I have a garage, so I'm really not out. I open the door and I'm like, ooh, it's cold out. Then I get my cars in the garage. But when I get here to the office, I walk with a block or whatever around to the door here. Yeah. And yesterday felt worse. But as I was walking, like I got out of the car and I'm in the alley and that's fine. But as soon as I got onto 3rd Street off the alley, that wind chill smacked me right in the face. I'm like, oh, there it is. Because I was like, hey, it's not so bad out here. And then I turned the corner. I was like, I was like, oh.
Oh.
And that chili hit me right in the face. And it was not pleasant. It was not pleasant. So it's chilly out. I think it felt worse overall yesterday for a minute, but like when you hit certain areas, it's just way worse right now. So
well, it's like that kind of cold where it's so cold that you should get ice on your windshield, but you don't for some reason.
Well, then yesterday it like flurried all day. Like, did you notice the flurries?
I saw a little bit of snowflakes falling down.
Yeah, it seemed like at lunchtime I was going out and it was flurrying all over the place. Not like full on snow, but
no,
it was like multiple flurries.
Yeah.
Enough where you were like sitting at lights and going, is it snowing?
Yeah. Yeah, like it might as well just snow if it's going to be this cold, I always say.
Well, and it's kind of the one of those where I think the weather is, because there's not enough moisture to really snow.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not. So it's just pulling out, I guess, whatever moisture's in those clouds. But anyway, point is it's going to be cold today.
But then it's been less cold, and then my windshield is iced up too. So it's like,
It's winter. But so if you do go out today, be careful. Probably not a lot of outdoor activities planned today because it's.
Well, you know what I found out yesterday?
No bueno.
Actually, the more body mass someone has, the more energy they have to expend to for their immune system to fire up and fight whatever fever they're.
Oh, you're saying for colds?
Yeah.
But then the trade-off is
for sickness.
More body mass has more blubber to protect them from the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was fatter, I was way more cold resistant. Now I'm not.
I don't know. You small people seem to be a lot more like cold resistant than I am.
I'm not anymore. I used to be, but now I'm a hot mess.
Oh.
I was freezing all day yesterday. I could not get warm yesterday.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting in here just shivering, and I'd get warm places. Like I finally got home under the blanket in the chair.
Okay.
For a good half hour, and then finally I was like, all right, now I just felt chilled all day long yesterday. So I'm good this morning. It was hot when I got up this morning. I don't know if the heat was just cranking because of the cold air, but it's like 4 this morning. I was like throwing blankets off me because I was hot. So it's good this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay some interviews today. We did have a guest scheduled, but unfortunately they can't make it today. So we will get them on down the road. But let me give you the rundown for what we have on tap for today's show. Yesterday we had Don Weld with Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge join us. Had a great conversation with them. They're looking for volunteers, donations, things like that. And so we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay an interview we had on Monday with Tracy De La Rosa and Trent Bates with the Community Crisis Coalition. They're really helping folks with flood damage needs, things like that. But, now that, we're past kind of the FEMA stuff and all of that, these folks are kind of filling in gaps and helping out there. So they are offering help, and they're looking for resources, too, to people to get involved. So we're going to play that interview for you in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15 or so, yesterday, we had Damon Graham and Desi Aguilar join us with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. They've got their Teen Leadership Institute coming up in April. It's their annual 2-day event for high school juniors and seniors. They do scholarship money, but it's a really great program that they've been doing for 20-plus years now. And so they got another one coming up here in April, so we're going to play that interview telling folks about that. Plus, we're going to have all of your latest on the newses of the local, national variety, your Wall Street business updates, weather, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Speaking of that weather, here is your official forecast from a meteorologist. I think it's Steve. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cool high pressure moving in today that will bring a little bit of cloud cover, and our afternoon highs stay fairly cool. Mid to upper 30s, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, some clouds, at least in the evening, clearing after midnight, and cold. We're in the mid-teens, and then we're back in the mid-40s and sunny on Friday. Warming trend for the weekend, upper 50s on Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. 19 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62% with southeast winds at 10 miles per hour. As I mentioned, that cold weather advisory remains in effect through 9 a.m. this morning. However, we're looking at a high of 34 today, so it's going to be chilly all day. Mostly cloudy. Wind chill values as low as 0 today. Winds will be out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Just a big bag of stink today. Tonight, mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear. Expect an overnight low of 16 degrees with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, we warm up to mid-40s, 45 for a high tomorrow with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear, overnight low of 21, south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we warm up to the mid-50s. Under mostly sunny skies. They're calling 56 for official high. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, 28 for an overnight low under mostly clear skies. And then back into the low 70s on Sunday, sunny and 71. 33 for an overnight low Sunday night. And then next week, just Shangri-La for weather. 70, pushing 80 on Monday, 79 on Tuesday, 74 on Wednesday of next week. So dream of those days ahead if you're freezing and struggling through today. Be like, Monday it'll be warm and 80. Yes. All right, 7:16. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Don Weld wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Trade up and cash in during the Keys for Cash event at Roswell Honda. Up to $4,000 more for your trade. Roswell Honda wants your trade in, and that means trade values are at an all-time high. With 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and low 1.9% APR options available, there's never been a better time to trade up and save big. Don't wait. Be a part of the biggest sale in the history of Roswell Honda. Trade up and cash in during Keys for Cash on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Check out some of the bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select cans of Libby's vegetables are $5 for $5, and cans of Food Club chili with or without beans are $1.88 each. In produce, 1-pound packs of strawberries are $2 for $4, and large green bell peppers are $3 for $1. In the meat department, family packs of choice top sirloin steaks are $5.99 a pound, and family packs of fried drumsticks or thighs are just 99 cents a pound. These are just some of the savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
You there!
What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best. Or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today, 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
After Solomon became king of Israel, God spoke to him in a dream and told him to ask for whatever he wanted. Solomon started by thanking and praising God. He was humble and admitted he didn't feel like he was up to the task of being king. Solomon then asked for a discerning heart to know right from wrong. God was pleased with his request and gave him what he asked for. Sounds like the young king already had some wisdom when he made his request of God. Jesus taught that everyone who hears his words and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, yet it did not fall because it had a foundation on a rock. But everyone who hears his words and doesn't put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the house fell with a great crash. So how do we gain wisdom? Well, looks like we put the words of the Lord into practice.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, today wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, officially. Well, technically he's on the table, but he's got it.
There you go.
There it is. Don Weld back with us. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
Doing good, and I would imagine things are quiet at 14 or 17 degrees at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge this morning. I'm thinking most of the animals
very
are
much so
hunkering down or not out this morning.
You see some of these wildlife programs, and you see cranes out in these lakes and stuff where that freeze over at night, and the cranes are trapped in there until the sun comes out just enough that they can break free from the ice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt, but maybe we've got some of that here this year.
It's cold enough last night that they
might have got froze in.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos online of like alligators where that's happened, and they'll like freeze them in animation, and they're okay as long as they can get their nose
on the layer
above the ice there, so they can breathe or whatever, and then they just ride out the ice, I guess, until they thaw out and then go on about their day.
Yep.
It is amazing to see animals survive in that kind of stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
It's amazing what animals can handle.
Absolutely.
And that's what happens out here at this time of year.
Absolutely.
Especially.
Nature in action, doing its thing. And
if it's not too cold, then it's too hot.
And I'm going to, it's probably a little bit of a quiet time because it's kind of in between the migratory. I know weather's been a little squirrely here, but they're not quite heading back north quite yet. They'll be doing that here pretty quick.
The cranes will start, well, this is getting towards the end of February, usually about the first part of March, mid-March, somewhere, they start moving.
So they should be shifting here in a couple of weeks, start heading this way.
We'll start getting them coming up from the south, and they'll come in and make their pit stop.
Well, next week it'll be 80s. It'll be much more pleasant if
there you go. Yeah.
This way.
So they'll come in and make their pit stop and fuel up and then head on.
For folks not familiar, and we talk about this and we just kind of get into it. Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is what it is. It's a national wildlife refuge that is there to preserve and to study plant and animal life and protect that's native to this part of the country. We as humans are there to be visitors. We're there, if you want to camp, if you want to fish, if you want to do all that kind of stuff, Bottomless Lakes is a great facility to do those things. But if you want to observe nature, doing nature, Bitter Lake is where all that action is. So we'd love to have visitors. We'd love you to come out, walk the trails, and observe nature. But please remember, you are the visitor. Stay on. They want you to stay on the trails. Do not disturb the wildlife. Do not pick plants. Do not that stuff that they don't want you out there doing. If you want to recreate, that's over at Bottomless Lake.
Right.
At Bitter Lake, it's there to be one with nature, to see nature do nature.
You got it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. And the friends are there to support that.
Yeah. Now, if you want to get in there and see that place, even more so than the public does,
that's right.
A friend of Bitter Lake is a way to do that.
Yep, so. we get some access to the behind the scenes sort of stuff.
Well, you guys are the volunteers. They do service projects out there. The store that's out there when you go and buy the various gifts or snacks and things that even out there. That's all run by the Friends of Bitter Lake. All that money goes back into projects at the refuge, like the bird blind, the various trails and things.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime there's a project like that, 9 times out of 10, it's the friends that have helped raise money and help put that together.
And two of our biggest projects, one is the Dragonfly Festival, of course. That is free. Everybody comes out there. It's free. You might have to buy a hot dog from the Boy Scouts.
Support the
or coffee
nonprofits.
from the coffee place, something like that. But basically, we put that on for free.
Mm-hmm.
It costs us somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000 a year. Now, in the past, the refuge has been able to help out. They will help on some of that expenses. However, funding is tight with these cutbacks, and we're losing people here and there. So we need
to do some fundraising to keep Dragonfly going.
That's right. We need a whole lot more money. We need sponsors. We need help. So give us a call. Come
Absolutely.
out there and look at we've got a website.
And to be honest, your membership as a friend helps doing that. So becoming a friend very much helps towards that goal.
That's right. So join us. Come out to the nature store, because the bulk of the money that we get out of the nature store goes right back into putting on that regular fund.
And that's the thing too is if you've been a member of this community, if you remember, the Dragonfly Festival is a staple in this thing. It's in our schools. I mean, it's a tradition that the kids in school do their artwork for the competition, for the posters and the T-shirts, and getting the community involved, and the wealth of information and education and everything, the benefit we get as a community from the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is worth tenfold in supporting things like this.
Very much so.
And to keep that place available to you and me, we need to support things like that.
That's right.
And that's the thing we need to remember is we could easily just shut that down to the public, and nobody gets in there except for park rangers and ecological types, and the public
and special volunteers of some kind.
Yeah. And so, but if not supporting Dragonfly Festival things, that's where that leads to. Right. Because without the money to support these things, we can't. And at the end of the day, the mission of the refuge is not you or me. And so if the money cuts down to that, you and me are out of the equation. It's
That's
the
right.
animals. And
it's
so
the animals we got to take care of.
The public wants to keep enjoying this thing. We need to support things like Dragonfly Festival, like through Friends of Bitter Lake, coming out, volunteering, doing these service projects and things, showing that we, the public, are good stewards of this property as well, too.
Yep.
So
and we have our spring cleanup coming up. That's on the April 19th. we'll be doing the cleanup on the Butterfly Trail.
Very good.
So
come volunteer.
Yeah, come volunteer.
If you want to meet the friends and see what the friends are about, that's a good opportunity.
That's a good opportunity.
To come.
Yep.
And, usually there's food involved. They're always bringing food around.
Oh yeah,
so.
we will. You come out. You do. We clean up the trash because the winds out here blow trash in.
Everything blows in.
Yeah, and we try to get rid of some of the weedy stuff that we really don't want.
There's a lot of non-native plant life.
Yeah.
That thrives in this environment so well that it crowds out the native plant life. So that's
right.
a very big struggle for the refuge to keep the native protected while keeping the non-native out of reach and out of the refuge.
Right. And of course, every year we put out fresh butterfly plants.
Yeah.
The milkweed.
Yeah.
From butterflies.
But that salt cedar gets really strong and likes to take over, so you got to fight it.
We got to
that's
get it
the
out.
battle.
We're still battling some of the salt cedar.
Yeah.
We got most of it. Got huge parts of it out.
But it's hardy.
It's hardy, and it just keeps coming back.
And I imagine with the weird weather that we get, that kind of makes the fight harder too.
It does.
It's goes dormant and then not dormant, and then it
Often.
basically goes off the grid, gets stronger, faster, and then comes back, and you got to fight it again.
That's right. Yeah. So another thing is that the Friends, we have our board meeting.
Okay.
The first Wednesday of each month.
Okay.
And we
the
meet,
March one will be coming up here pretty quick.
Yep. In fact,
about 2 weeks here.
That would be. Whoops! I just lost it on my calendar there. April.
It'd be about 2 weeks from now. Probably from today.
March 5th.
Yeah.
2 weeks, yep.
2 weeks from today.
We meet at 6 o'clock.
Do you guys meet out of
6:30.
Do you guys meet out of Bitter Lake or?
We actually meet here in town. It's the Roadrunner Travel Trailer Park.
Okay.
Roadrunner Trailer Park. I guess
Okay.
not travel trailer. Out here, right behind where Otero Federal is, and you go back behind there.
Okay.
We meet in that first little building. It's their lodge, but we meet there at 6:30, first Wednesday. It's open to the public.
Excellent.
It is our council meeting, so you can come in, observe, get to know us, say hi. We're still looking for new council members,
people to serve,
people to help out.
And that's if you work well in that capacity, maybe you're like, well, I'm not so good at digging ditches and that kind of thing, but I can lend my legal skills, or I can lend my accounting skills, or lend my whatever my expertise is.
We got all kinds of openings, all kinds of things we need.
Yeah.
We need volunteers to help run the nature store.
That would be a great way to help out.
Yep. You can
be like people and talking and chit-chatting. That's
right.
a great place to meet people, and by default you're a sort of a docent, because people usually ask questions. Hey, where's this?
That's right.
Where's that?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. You'll have to learn a lot of the things that go on out there and how to get around, and so that you can go to the maps and say, oh, okay, we're here. We're going to go down here and go see this.
So if you're a fan of the place already, maybe you could serve that way.
There you
come
go.
and help others as you guide their experience out at Bitter Lake.
And all our employees, quote, they're not employees,
right?
Our volunteers at the nature store are just that, volunteers. They don't get paid. That's why we can sell our products at a cheaper price.
There's no overhead
and still
here,
make the money off of it.
That helps ensure that every dime that people are spending on their things truly go back to the project in which we intend it to do. So that's so if you love to volunteer, that's a great way to do it. We'll come and work a couple hours a week out at the store and meet some people. And I know we the summer months generally we'll get the snowbirds or the travelers that they'll bring, they kind of do the RV life, and they go really from places like this. They'll hang out for a month, volunteer, and in exchange they basically get to park their trailer on the property there and get to live there for a month or so, and use that as their base of operations to go explore. And then they serve in the nature store and work and do that stuff.
And when they do that, they only work 3 days a week.
Yeah.
We split that up. The nature stores normally open Monday through Saturday. So
Gotcha.
6 days. We split that up 3 days for each volunteer or RV or group.
So they can have days to explore New Mexico and do what they're doing.
3 days of work and 4 days of playing around.
Yeah, they're retirees. They're they're living their golden years, having fun and seeing the world.
And it doesn't cost them that rental at an RV place.
Yeah, let's say it's a win-win. Yep. You know, sing for your supper a little bit, and they get a chance.
There you go.
To work. And by the way, they're usually, they're very well versed in how parks work, and they're very respectful of the property, and you know what I mean. They understand it's a wildlife preserve, and they don't live.
That's right.
Like they're in a trailer park.
Most of them have been in several different. Well, they'll do that. They'll go from refuge to refuge.
Yeah.
And volunteer for anywhere from 1 to 6 months at a particular refuge.
I love that. It's great.
So it's a wonderful way.
To be honest, it's kind of like that's not a bad way to live. Like you're retired and everything.
Yeah.
If you don't mind riding the road all the time.
Yeah, if you get a decent trailer.
Yeah.
That you can live in, and you like outdoor life, well, it's a great way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I'd be. I don't know, man. The way the weather's going, I'm like, you got to go farther south in the winter here for some of these refuges to get the good weather.
and those are the prime ones during the winter,
right? I bet Arizona, Florida, they got a lot of.
Right, and during the summer, they all want to go to Montana.
That's right, Montana,
and, Washington, Minnesota, places like that.
The Dakotas, yeah. Yep. No, I'm good on Arizona. I don't need to be there in July.
No. We had a Legion meeting there one time, and they're always in August.
Oh.
And they had the Phoenix conference. What was that? 4 years ago?
Wow.
I
imagine the asphalt's probably melting.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. Just about every step you took, you pulled up 4 pounds of asphalt with you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Arizona's god awful in July and August.
I spent my honeymoon in Phoenix, my first marriage. This was back in the 60s. And we drove into Phoenix from Albuquerque, and on the bank clock, it was 2 a.m. On the bank clock as we drove in, it was 115.
At 2 a.m.
At 2 a.m. Jeez.
Like, that's the cool down time.
Yeah. and so the first thing we did was we checked in, jumped in the pool.
Right. Wait before it gets hot.
Yeah. No, I'm good. This is better than that.
This is right. Yeah, today's not so fun, but we got much milder temperatures than most. But we do need volunteers. And that's a great way to volunteer. Whether you serve as a docent or working at the store or on committees, or if you look, I just want to do the service projects when you guys need cleanup days and things like that. I'd love to be a help.
Put your name on the list, and we will be there.
Absolutely. And plus, there is perks to this stuff because there are parts of the refuge that the public do not access.
Right.
Almost zero time.
Right.
And from time to time, there's need to go out to those parts as a friend, or maybe they're doing an archaeological thing or an ecological thing, or it could be because, believe it or not, there's as much human history out there as there is natural history.
Oh,
out
yeah.
there. The Native Americans and their hunting grounds and all of that history is out there too.
That's right.
And there's people that study that kind of stuff. So from time to time, there's those kind of things that go on. And guess what? As a friend, you get the perks to go out to those parts to help, navigate whatever they're trying to do at that particular.
Back when with the New Deal, where they had the CCC.
Yeah, that's that history out there too.
They did a whole. There are several buildings out there that were the original construction was by CCC.
Yeah, and those are all historical too. So there's and Bitter Lake covers that too. There's if you want to learn that human history side of Bitter Lake,
it's there.
It's all there too.
We can show it to you. We've got a display case with a whole bunch of artifacts that have been dug up, having to do with that period of time.
Yeah, it's really fascinating out there. If you've never been out there, get your butt out there. Finally. I mean
it's our park.
Yeah, this weekend's going to be nice. It's the 60s and 70s this weekend.
Yeah.
Make this weekend a good weekend to come out and see Bitter Lake.
Don't go out there in June and July. It's 110.
Right.
Go out there now.
Right. And if you're and to be honest, the only time you ever been out there is in September. Go in other seasons. It's a different experience every time of year.
Every quarter.
If you've only been in September, it's a whole different ballpark when you come out in April.
That's right.
It just is. It's different. And it's different when you come out in July, too.
Yeah. If you like the heat, it's there.
Sure.
We can show you a little heat, too.
Although, if you're an early riser, June, July at sunrise is a good, it's probably a very cool place to be.
It is.
Out of Bitterlake, because the animals, they got to eat, they got to do their thing. They're doing it at sunrise.
They do.
So if you're willing to get up early and get there when the sun dawns, you could see a whole lot of action out of Bitterlake.
Now we open the gate at sunrise. That's when it opens, and it closes at sunset. But if you get out there, evening is another time.
Yeah, if you are more of a late night owl.
Yeah, right. So if you're there, you go out there just before sunset, and you're wandering around, and the sun went down. They're closing the gate. Well, it's okay. Go back to the gate. Go up slowly, and the exit gate will let you out.
Yeah, you can get out. You can't get in.
You can't get in. It won't open that way.
It's the opposit of the Roach Motel.
Yeah,
if you remember the Roach Motel,
yeah,
they
there
come
you
in,
go.
but they can't. This is the opposite. It won't let you in, but it'll let you out.
Right. That's right. So, yeah, we'll do all of that stuff.
Yeah, but experience it if you can. But if go to the website friendsofbitterlake.org, and there you can learn more about the organization, about that. Is there a donate now button on there too if you'd like to make monetary donations?
No, we were trying to do that, but getting that set up, it was cost.
It actually cost more than it was to do it.
It was just too much.
Gotcha.
I really think we might be able to figure something out for that, but not right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Talk with Juliana, because I know the Walker Aviation folks have one, and I don't know how they've got theirs set up, but I've got a feeling she's a part of that. So
okay.
Maybe she could give you some advice on how to do that.
How to set that up?
Yeah.
So that it doesn't cost us a whole lot.
Yeah, and
more
I don't know what, but I know the Walker Aviation folks, they have one on their website, and I don't know if they pay for it or how it works, but pick their brain and see what. And I think Juliana's the one that does their website and stuff. So.
And the same way with Alzheimer's, we have a donation button for Alzheimer's.
That might be through
too.
the National Alzheimer's, right? Do they take care of
It
that?
does.
Yeah.
It goes through them, but so they probably get a better deal anyway.
And that's what I'm kind of wondering, because Walker's kind of at your level, same.
Yeah, Walker would be a more appropriate.
I'm kind of curious to see what they do. Maybe you can. See what
I'll
they do.
have to get with Juliana and see if we can.
And I'll ask her if I see her next time too.
Okay.
Say, hey, get me to pick your brain on that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, if you'd like to help out, come down to the store, do some shopping. There is you can make a donation while you're at the store if you maybe like, well, I only want so many books, but here's $100. Hey,
Yep. That would be good.
Yeah,
we can take that, and there are membership cards there. You can join at that time too. If you talk to Steve Alvarez, and he's usually most commonly at the miniature store Monday through Friday.
Yeah, he's kind of the park ranger of the place.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
He's the coordinator.
Yeah, he's the coordinator, but
community interfacing.
Yeah, but he's also the guy that he kind of runs the ship out there. So.
That's right, and he'll set you up on volunteering. You don't. If you can join the Friends without being a volunteer, you can be a volunteer without joining the Friends, or you can be both.
Either way, we'd love to have you a part of it.
Yeah,
because all of it helps to keep the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge going for
Correct.
not only nature, but for us, the people, too.
That's right.
Yeah. Friendsofbitterlake.org is the website there. You guys also have a Facebook page, right?
We do. I'm not sure how you get to it.
I think if you just type in Friends of Bitter Lake or Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge in the search, it should pop up pretty easily. And then I encourage you to like and follow it. And that way you can stay up to date on not only when all the Dragonfly Festival event stuff happens, but when they do other events that happen throughout the year, like Cranes and Cocoa or some other butterfly day or cleanup days. And they always have, excuse me, I got hiccups. As the different parts of the season, there's different
things that we need to do.
Things. Yeah.
Yep. So very much so.
It's a great way to stay up to date on that kind of stuff. And of course, make a point to add Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge to your places you visit and places you see here in your own backyard. It's a whole different world out there. And I'm going to take a stab that most of you haven't been in there in 100 years or never been there.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be blown away once you get out there and see just how beautiful it is, but just to see what's right here in your own backyard. And don't forget, you are the visitor. You're there So you're not coming there to camp and to do all the boat and fish and all that.
You can't do that. No.
You're there to hike. You're there to walk. You're there to observe. You're there to leave no trace.
That's right.
Come in and leave the place. Do what the Boy Scouts do.
Carry in, carry out.
Yep.
You got it.
One of the Boy Scouts' mottos is always leave a place better than you found it.
That's right.
And do that when you're at Bitter Lake
Yeah.
Friends of BitterLake.org, or come on by. Do you know the number to the store over there or anything off the top of your head? I'm sure it's on the website, but I didn't know if you knew it off the top of your head. It's like, anybody have any questions?
I don't.
They could call her. But I know if you go to Friends of Bitter Lake, I think they got the number to the camp store there and everything, or the
yeah.
The
there we go. 575. 244. 6256.
Yeah, call that during the week if you have any questions, or if you want more information about becoming a friend or any of that kind of stuff. It can help you out there too. But if you go to the website if you want, because business
that's the
hours.
Best way.
Yeah, because that's there 24/7.
Yeah,
that.
And it'll update you on anything new.
Yes,
that you need to know about. Too.
And the phone number is probably going to be monitored by volunteers, and volunteers aren't there all the time. So.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, if you're going to call that number, 8 to 5.
Yes, that's a Monday through Friday,
and actually Monday through Saturday.
Saturday, because
we do have people there on Saturday.
But I imagine if you want to talk to Steve directly, that's probably the best way to get a hold of him.
Yes, call that number.
Yeah, good deal. Don, is there anything we missed? Anything we forgot? Anything we didn't get to cover?
Well, talk to your senators.
Okay.
Senators and representatives. Make sure that they understand that we need to keep our people here. We're short-staffed anyway out here. The paid staff.
Yeah, I know. We're looking at the Doge cuts and all these things that are going on, and but you're right. You need to talk to your senators about making sure they don't Doge too much.
That's right. Yeah, I can understand the cuts.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to get our budget in line, but
firefighters, things like that,
we've
are not.
Got to keep some of those people.
Those
around.
are not luxuries. Those are necessities. Those are things that if we don't have them, that upsets the balance out here on how to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, write to your federal legislators about that.
Yep. Nationally, they've already cut some from the Wildlife Service.
Yeah.
I don't know numbers or anything, and they have cut some in New Mexico. But so far, keep your fingers crossed. So far, Bitter Lake has not been affected.
Well, hopefully that continues to be the case. So, little wood knocking our
Yeah.
Don, as always, appreciate the visit, and we'll see you again. The man of many hats here with various stuff. But if folks have any questions, friendsofbitterlake.org. Of course, while we're talking, if you got any things about the zoo, Don can help you out there. He's also on the Friends of the Zoo, and which we'll talk more about later. And then, of course, Alzheimer's. Now's the time if you want to put teams together or one of that. He's very much, and of course, American Legion stuff. Don's always a resource there too.
Or for drivers, if you're a veteran,
vet
and
transport,
you need transportation as a veteran.
They're always looking for drivers, by the way.
We need drivers out there.
Always. If you've got a few hours a week, a day, or month, and don't mind driving around town or driving to Albuquerque or Lubbock or something every once in a while, they would love to have you do that. And they need them. They keep a pool. So if you're listening and you're in Artesia or anywhere really in southeast New Mexico and I want to offer that service, they use you for, say, hey, we got some vets in Artesia need to be brought up here or brought wherever. They're going to tap into you for that. So wherever you're listening in southeast New Mexico, wherever you live, they could use you as a driver. So reach out to them.
And if you're a veteran that needs the help, call for that
Absolutely, too. If you want to get on their list of needs.
If you haven't already talked to them and you're a veteran, call them and set it up.
Yes.
So that when you do need it, it's already done.
Just get your pipeline into the system and say, I got an appointment this week, and they can do their logistics to make sure a driver's there to get you to your appointment.
I'm going to give you that number.
Yes.
575-622-0729.
And that's the Veterans Transport. If you need the services or you'd like to
volunteer
and become a driver. Yeah. Or if or maybe you're thinking, you know what? I'm in the car business and I'd like to donate a bunch of vans to you because they could always use that stuff too. So
Yeah,
Very
we just
good.
got some new ones, but that's
But they can
good.
always
We
use
can
more.
that's
Well,
right.
they these vehicles are on the road. They're well maintained and everything
They are.
else, but they get used.
Oh yeah,
And they don't have.
We get 150, 200,000 miles out of those.
They don't get the shelf life that maybe your car does because they're used on a constant basis.
That's right.
Kind of like police cars and those kind of vehicles. It gets that kind of usage.
They do.
I mean, they're not high speed chasing in them, but they're putting in as many
Well,
miles.
I don't know. Some of those drivers, no.
Hey, so you got to be late for that appointment. We got
to get you there. Come on.
Some of these drivers are veterans themselves, and they got
That's
lead
right.
feet.
These were fighter pilots.
That's right.
The need for speed.
That's right. We can handle 3 Gs. We'll be all right.
Yeah, there you go.
Don, as always, appreciate the visit, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Albertsons. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Take your career to the next level. If you have mechanical aptitude, the Crumlin Auto Group wants to talk to you. Make real money without driving to the oil field. Certified master technicians can earn up to $70 an hour. Entry-level technicians start at $20 an hour with free training and tools. The Crumlin Auto Group offers competitive wages, health insurance, a 401k, housing assistance, and a sign-on bonus of up to $20,000. You could be making over $150,000 a year. Apply today at KAGNM.com. KAGNM.com.
After Solomon became king of Israel, God spoke to him in a dream and told him to ask for whatever he wanted. Solomon started by thanking and praising God. He was humble and admitted he didn't feel like he was up to the task of being king. Solomon then asked for a discerning heart to know right from wrong. God was pleased with his request and gave him what he asked for. Sounds like the young king already had some wisdom when he made his request of God. Jesus taught that everyone who hears his words and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, yet it did not fall because it had a foundation on a rock. But everyone who hears his words and doesn't put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the house fell with a great crash. So how do we gain wisdom? Well, looks like we put the words of the Lord into practice.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Shearer Plays Vaughan Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium, featuring Dr. Jim Shearer, professor of tuba at New Mexico State University, in the Vaughan Williams Concerto for Tuba and Orchestra, plus Beethoven's 7th Symphony, along with works by Barber, Sibelius, and Mozart. Get tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Shearer Plays Vaughan Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Sponsored in part by Dr. John and Ms. Deanne Kaysen and the Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Space, the final frontier.
Hi, Captain. You can choose your space at Main Trailer Sales.
Fascinating. Don't cling on to that old camper. The logical choice. New Durangos, Montanas, Cougars, and Passports from Main Trailer Sales. They allow space and comfort. Boldly explore like never before.
Beam on board to that perfect camper.
Don't go camping without us. Live long and explore.
Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without us.
Great news, Roswell. Your friends at Roswell Ford have the best relationship advice ever. Break up and do it right now.
Really?
Yes. Break up with your old beater and upgrade for less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. Right now, everybody gets friends and family pricing on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles with up to $8,000 off MSRP on new Fords with 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition starting at just $10 grand. Making payments on your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your current lease or loan, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. Huge savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand financed. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online online at amigo-machinery.com.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is your one-stop shop for farm and ranch supplies in southeast New Mexico, with a friendly, knowledgeable team that can help you find the answers to your problems, with brands you know, including Preferred, Pearson, Purina, Hypro Feeds, Ariat, Wrangler, Cinch, Justin Boots, and more. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of area sports, 4-H, FFA, and the farmers and ranchers of tomorrow. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, family-owned for 50 years.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And good morning. We're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Stay tuned. Next hour, we're going to play our interview with Tracy De La Rosa and Trent Bates from the Community Crisis Coalition, talking about flood relief after FEMA and all that's gone and what the work they're doing. So that's the interviews next hour. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Special Presidential Envoy Keith Kellogg is in Kiev for talks with Ukraine's president. This amid a growing rift between Presidents Trump and Zelensky.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is today meeting with the U.S. Ukraine envoy following heated exchanges between Zelensky and President Donald Trump. In his nightly video address, Zelensky called for constructive talks with the U.S. It follows comments by Trump, who accused the country of misusing American aid and going into a war that never had to start. The rift has deepened as the Trump administration is charting a new course by reaching out to Russia to push for a peace deal. I'm Nayeon Kim.
And there was going to be a Kellogg-Zelensky news conference. Apparently that has been called off. Bodies of 4 Israeli hostages, they died while in Hamas custody in Gaza, have been released, handed over by Hamas to the Red Cross. The BBC's Sebastian Usher says a terrorist displayed 4 black coffins in Gaza and blamed Israel's prime minister.
There was a caricature of Mr. Netanyahu with blood and accusing him of being the murderer of these 4 hostages. That clearly is something that will cause greater anger and distaste in Israel than even what we've seen so far in the previous handovers, where Israelis were disgusted by what they saw as a propaganda event staged by Hamas.
Ranging in age from 9 months to 83 years, the remains included those of a mother and her 2 young children. President Trump suggesting that federal control of Washington, D.C. could help to return law and order to the nation's capital. Stocks in the red this morning on Wall Street, with the Dow down 413 points, the NASDAQ Composite Index off 237. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? One does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Chilean researchers have come up with a way to capture large amounts of water from fog, holding out hope of relief for drought-plagued regions worldwide.
In the slums of Alto Hospicio in northern Chile, people rely on lorries to deliver drinking water. But scientists say a secure, clean water supply could be provided by collecting the fog that sweeps over the city from the Pacific. Fog water harvesting involves hanging a fine mesh between poles so moisture-laden clouds pass through and form droplets that can be collected. The researchers worked out that in Alto Hospicio, 17,000 square metres of mesh erected in foggy hotspots around the city could provide enough drinking water for all of its urban slums.
And that's BBC's Victoria Gill. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol appeared in 2 different courts today, contesting his arrest on rebellion charges in one court and then pleading to preserve his presidency in the other. News and analysis, townhall.com. An electric vehicle pioneer files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
Nikola was a rising star on Wall Street, a hot startup. In 2020, it was valued at around $30 billion. But founder Trevor Milton was convicted in 2022 for misleading investors about Nikola's technology. The bankruptcy filing comes months after the company said it would run out of money early this year. Nikola plans to continue limited service and support operations for vehicles on the road, including fueling operations through the end of next month, subject to court approval. I'm Ed Donahue.
The Trump administration is killing controversial congestion pricing in New York City. It forced most drivers entering Manhattan below 60th Street to pay $9 more for trucks. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says it's a slap in the face to working Americans and small businesses, the MTA insisting the charge will stay. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Roy. Sean under the weather this morning. Hopefully he'll be feeling better tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll see how that goes. He looks like he's got a bit of the
not literally under the weather. He's not like under a pile of snow or anything.
No. He's feeling ill. But I'm guessing he's got a little flu and stuff. He's talking about fever and all that. So every time I get one of those, that's usually flu for me. So that's where I'm good. Like I
usually I get it earlier or later than everyone else.
Yeah,
like
I usually get it right after my wife does.
I usually beat everyone to the punch, and then I'm good.
Yeah. Now my wife will get something from school and bring it home, and then I get it. That's usually how it works. And then I'm sick, usually from November to March.
Yeah.
Some cold or something. But and I'm usually good, but when you hit fever, that's when I'm out. When I start getting feverish, then I'm out. I can't. I just can't focus.
Right.
Yeah, I'm I can't focus. I can't. I'm just doing a bad job here. I need to go.
My body's just too cold to function.
Yeah, fever's messing me. But hopefully Sean will be feeling proper tomorrow here. We'll see how that goes. But happy Chilly Wednesday. It is. If you haven't been out and about yet, bundle up. We've got with wind chills and everything. It's below right now, according to the National Weather Service, we are 19. But with the wind chill, it feels like -7 out there right now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
So, and we still do have a cold weather advisory, in case you need
until 9
reminder.
a.m. Yes.
Yeah. So, in case you need a reminder that it's cold today, but yeah, we're gonna hit a whopping 34 degrees. So even after 9 a.m., it's not warming up that much. So.
Yeah. No, you don't just happen to be outside today. Like,
well, if you got to go to work, you got to go to school, got to run your errands, and whatever whether you're sprinting from the car to the building or whatever it is, bundle up because you're gonna freeze. The t-shirt and pants run to the. That might not cut it today. It's kind of cold out there.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. If you got to be outdoors, may not want to hang out too long.
Yeah,
this is that type of weather that if you hang out too long in, you're going to get frostbite and hypothermia could set in and things like that. So you got to be careful with it. I mean, to be honest, with hypothermia, you have more worries when it's kind of on the edge than you do. Like I've seen more people get hypothermia in summer than I have in the winter.
Okay.
Weirdly enough. And it's usually when you're camping and stuff and you get wet and cold and
I think I've been sicker this past summer than I have been this whole entire fall and winter season.
Really?
Yeah, like I've just been like constantly just under the weather during the summer. Like I was just having cold and cold after cold.
Summer I'm usually good. I usually don't have too many issues. It's when the weather gets cold and we get all closed up together. We start spreading germs to each other. So, yeah, but it is the season, so it's going around. So, immune up. Get your emergency or whatever they do now, or
before you get sick, not after.
Or do they still do the what's the one, the Nasacam, whatever, the one where you do the swabs if you start feeling cold, whatever one those are, Nasacam or I don't, you know what I'm talking about? They're like the little Q-tip swabs that, like, if you feel a cold coming on, you like do that at the beginning, and it's supposed to lessen the severity of
Mucinex?
the cold. It's not Mucinex. It's something. They were swabs.
No, I haven't heard of that. I've only heard of like Flonase and nasal spray.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't a spray. It was, I don't know. There's probably 27 people yelling at their radio right now, calling the name out for it. But whatever that thing is.
Well, I haven't seen a single commercial like that.
Oh yeah, it's been free. Like it was big before COVID. Then COVID hit, and so people aren't talking about them so much anymore. But I don't know if I'm sure they're still in the store. I just never, But yeah, they're supposed to Zicam. Maybe Zicam?
Zyxol?
Something like that. I don't know.
Is it the one with the owl? With the talking owl?
It might be. No, that's a Zyrtec, I think. Zicam? I feel there's a Z in it somewhere. I'm going to look it up.
There's the Zyzol.
This is why Sean's here. He's always on the computer or on his phone when I don't know these things.
You know what? I do have a phone on me, so I could actually check.
Yeah, I think Zyrtec? No, Zicam? Is that? I think it starts with a Z. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Anyway, the thing I wanted to mention was I think it was Friday, Netflix put out the final episodes of Cobra Kai.
Okay.
And so my wife and I thought it was going to be one big episode. The way they, like when they ended, I think it's a half season. I don't think they did. When they ended Cobra Kai back in last year sometime. They kind of said one more. I thought they said one more episode left, but I guess it was one more season because there's actually, I think 5 episodes or 4 episodes.
I guess Zicam.
Zicam, that's it. Zicam.
Okay. Oh, it's a
swab.
Well, these are like rapid melts. These are
maybe there's a new version.
These are chewable tablets.
Okay. Well, I think they have a swab too. But Zicam sounds.
There it is. There's the nasal swab.
There it is. Zicam. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. Anyway, so I watched there's like 4. It was actually 4 episodes of Cobra Kai, or 5 episodes of the final to wrap up the Cobra Kai franchise. You know what? I liked it. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
You mean until the next Karate Kid movie comes out?
Well, yeah, but like this story, the Cobra Kai story is, I think, wrapped up. I think, like they put a bow on it at the end.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because you kind of, at the end of the day, it's a little bit of a redemption story from the original Karate Kid movie.
Like the whole series.
Like if you look at the whole series in its volume, like now that I've seen it from start to how it ends.
Yeah, it's a subversion of the whole thing where Johnny is like the underdog now and he's got to...
but it
and Ralph's the one, or not Ralph. Daniel is the one on top.
Yeah, well, but it's not like it's not a direct thing, there's that video that pops up on Facebook and social media about the alternate story of Karate Kid, and it's the Johnny Lawrence side of it. How this guy stole his girlfriend and all this other thing. It's not that, but it does make it like the whole story. Because let's pull back the curtain.
Yeah,
Ralph Macchio and whatever that guy's name is that plays Lawrence. They are buddies throughout.
Zabka.
Yeah, Billy Zabka or
William Zabka.
William Zabka. Billy Zabka. Yeah, that guy. And so they're friends through this, obviously. But what I liked about it was I like the ending is as crazy as this year, because the show is over the top. Like, you get to seasons 2 and 3, and there's whole high schools rumbling, and you're like, there's no way none of it. It's not realistic at all. It's so over the top, like it's Lawsuit City. But I mean, just
sure, yeah.
But it's entertaining, in which But I did like how they wrapped it up. I thought, it was a cool, like how they ended the show. I gotta be honest, that's the ending it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt right to me.
Okay, like
it felt like that's how the story should end.
You got the proper closure.
To me, it did. It felt like the way they were telling the story and how it goes.
Yeah,
like how they wrapped it up. I thought was a nice bow.
Yeah.
And because it's not
without giving spoilers away.
Well, it's. I will say this. Ralph Macchio's he's the Karate Kid. Karate Kid's going to be the Karate Kid.
Yes, the karate man now.
But at the end of the day, the story's not the Karate Kid story. And as much as you kind of feel it is and think it is throughout the whole series, the end reminds you it really isn't. And I thought they did a good job of that. And it also reminds you, the show is not called The Karate Kid.
No.
It's called Cobra Kai. So the ending has a very Cobra Kai pro ending, which the way it should be. It was good. It was a very good... To be honest,
Johnny is the main character. He
kind of is. Yeah, he kind of is.
It's not about Ralph.
He kind of is the main
Daniel.
Yeah, he kind of is in it. But you know what? For what I thought, they just as dumb as they took you in some places on this series, I was like, how are they gonna make this make sense at the end? And I thought they pulled it off. Like after watching it, and I'm sitting and I reflect on it, I was like, that was pretty good. There was some dumbness throughout that series. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a cool story.
Some 1980s.
It was a nice 1980s. If you grew up in a Karate Kid era watching that movie and are a fan of the movie series and kind of, to me it was a nice little bow.
All that stuff that you say doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense now. It probably would have made more sense in the 80s when
it was very 80s.
If it came out.
Yeah, but that was my problem is this is 2024 or 23 or whatever they did it. And I'm like, there's no way you're going to have this without it being all over social media, all over, just the news, not with lawsuits, people going to jail. And they literally, nothing happens. They literally had a rumble in a high school where people got, like, seriously injured. Like long time, like, hospital stays.
Yeah.
And no one's arrested, no cops show up, no aftermath, nothing. It was just like, they had a rumble at the high school, a karate rumble. And they keep doing karate. Yep. I'm just saying, if two karate dojos started a karate rumble in a high school, I don't think those two dojos are going to be hanging out much longer. I'm just saying.
It depends on how small the town is, I guess.
Well, it was the Valley there in California, where where the whole series takes place, in I guess some suburb of LA there, the Valley, wherever that is.
Yeah, they're just going by the same logic as the movies did.
Yeah, I know, and I get it. I know it's a TV show, and you got to suspend reality. But I'm like, if you want me to buy this, you got to at least give me some kind of realism to it where it's a plausible story. And I'm like, there's no way this would go down without being major blowback.
Real quick, since you mentioned Cobra Kai, the guy who plays the original teacher of Cobra Kai. And
Kreese.
Martin Cove.
Yeah.
That's the guy from Cagney.
That's his actor.
From Cagney and Lacey, yeah. He's going to be in a new movie, actually. Or I guess the movie already came out. I don't know. It's called Queen of the Ring. And it's kind of like in the same vein as like Iron Claw, where it's like based on a true story. And it's like this woman who, became a wrestler. And
is he the trainer or something?
Had I think so. He's either the trainer or the rival trainer. But but he's in the movie.
Okay.
And there's an actual like AEW female wrestler in there, and
good for him.
And it's but it looks really good. Like I would check that out.
Well, he always plays kind of the same character, that military, no nonsense kind of tough guy role. That's kind of
he is in Rambo Part 2.
Yeah, that's right. He was one. I remember that. Yeah, I've seen him. I remember in a couple 80s. Like, wasn't he in I know he's in Rambo, but I feel like he also showed up as in Predator or one of those type movies, or Commando or something where he's,
Steel Justice.
One of the random bad guys in one of these things. I feel like he's shown up in those in the 80s.
Yeah.
But anyway. Let me give. I better get the hour going.
Okay.
I saw the time here. Let me get the hour going. It is 8:19. We're going to play our interview we had with the folks from the Community Crisis Coalition. Tracy De La Rosa and Trent Bates joined us, and it's a organization grassroots formed here. They were doing a lot of work during the flooding, and now getting support brought in and things like that. And now that kind of FEMA's shifted on to the next thing, and people, it's kind of late to file with FEMA if you're in the system. That's still going, but new stuff is kind of out the window. So the coalition's around to help folks that are in need like that. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cool high pressure moving in today that will bring a little bit of cloud cover, and our afternoon highs stay fairly cool. Mid to upper 30s, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, some clouds, at least in the evening, clearing after midnight and cold. We're in the mid-teens, and then we're back in the mid-40s and sunny on Friday. Warming trend for the weekend, upper 50s on Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 19 degrees, holding steady at 19. Humidity is at 65%. Winds are out of the south at 13 miles per hour, but with that wind chill, it's feeling like -7 out there right now. Cold weather advisory remains in effect for another 40 minutes. It will be cold after 9 a.m. Don't worry about that, though, despite the advisory expiring. Mostly cloudy today, 34 for a high. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, gradually becoming mostly clear with an overnight low of 15. Yeah, it's going to be cold. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny for you Friday, a little warmer, 45 for a high tomorrow. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 21 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we start to thaw out. We get into the mid-50s. On Saturday, mostly sunny, 56 for a high. South winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Sunday, gorgeous. Sunny skies, high of 71. And next week, we're floating 80 on Monday, 79 on Tuesday, 74 Wednesday of next week. So a warming trend on the way. We just got to get through today, really. All right, 8:21. We're going to take a 4.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with the Community Crisis Coalition on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Are you ready to succeed? The School of Arts and Sciences at ENMU Roswell covers a broad curriculum. The certificates and degrees offered within these programs will prepare students to realize personal, professional, and occupational objectives, from ag science and agricultural technology to behavioral science, biology, bookkeeping and accounting, business administration, criminal justice, education, and mathematics. ENMU Roswell can set you up for success. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
So you've got questions about the birds and the bees? What would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben Manette with Roswell Seed Company. If Jim was here, he'd tell you that it's time to order your bees. You'll get a 3-pound box of live bees and a queen, and that's enough to start a hive. As for the birds, we're talking about baby chicks. Not only are they cute as can be, they'll soon be supplying your family with fresh eggs. So come see us at Roswell Seed and find out all about the birds and the bees.
After Solomon became king of Israel, God spoke to him in a dream and told him to ask for whatever he wanted. Solomon started by thanking and praising God. He was humble and admitted he didn't feel like he was up to the task of being king. Solomon then asked for a discerning heart to know right from wrong. God was pleased with his request and gave him what he asked for. Sounds like the young king already had some wisdom when he made his request of God. Jesus taught that everyone who hears his words and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, yet it did not fall because it had a foundation on a rock. But everyone who hears his words and doesn't put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the house fell with a great crash. So how do we gain wisdom? Well, looks like we put the words of the Lord into practice.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Great news, Roswell. Your friends at Roswell Ford have the best relationship advice ever. Break up and do it right now.
Really?
Yes. Break up with your old beater and upgrade for less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. Right now, everybody gets friends and family pricing on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles with up to $8,000 off MSRP on new Fords with 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition starting at just $10,000. Making payments on your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your current lease or loan, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. Huge savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand financed. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Trent Bates and Tracy De La Rosa. Almost said Tracy Bates and Trent.
Starting rumors.
It's Monday morning. From Rhodes Company joining us this morning. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, we're kind of talking help with folks here. You know, obviously, Roswell's kind of in the last year kind of seen it all here with, you know, from flooding in Ruidosa to fires in Ruidosa to flooding here and just all this kind of stuff. And obviously we've kind of hit that point with the flood relief stuff where the FEMAs have come and gone and, you know, you're not seeing as many charity groups doing their things, you know, that those resources are starting to move on to the next disaster now. But that doesn't mean people aren't sitting there with a bag of problems right now. So, and that's where you guys are offering some help out there for folks and saying, hey, you know, we might be able to, anytime, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to us, you know, taking care of things, at the end of the day, we got to do it ourselves. And this is kind of what we're talking about.
And, you know, we've kind of been preparing for this since the flood. I've been involved with a group over at Chavez County Health, and CASA Kids started a meeting every single Friday since the flood, and we've gotten together there 12 o'clock on Friday if you ever want to go. And we've been working with FEMA and DHS to kind of build a long-term recovery group.
Gotcha.
And so they have given us guidelines that they've used everywhere else to build this long-term recovery, because what they've been telling us is, we have support and we can get you to this point.
But you guys are the conduit, basically. So they're saying, hey, we can still tap into FEMA, we can still tap into this, but you guys are going to be that straw that connects the people to those resources. We can't do that anymore.
And like you said, there's
else.
so many resources out there, charity groups and, businesses that are ready to jump in. And that's why I've had Roads involved in this, is because they've done such a great job of bringing what they have to people. We just need
this is their business. They go in and fix roofs and do and hopefully it's to replace ones or put new ones on, but sometimes
they do plumbing and heating. So they were mucking out houses. I mean, Trent knows more about what they did than what I do, but they also had convoys of supplies coming in.
Okay, gotcha.
They were there at Roads Company. I don't know how many trucks you guys got.
Yeah, we're a corporate sponsor with Convoy of Hope. So we've been with them for a few years now, and so it just kind of went hand in hand when this disaster happened that we would get a hold of Convoy and team up with them. And I believe we brought in 2 semi-truckloads of supplies.
Yeah, I remember during that time we were you kind of see them online, kind of coming. It's like, oh, look, what's the yes, I remember that.
And then we have luckily the staff to help out and volunteer, and so we unloaded those trucks and then started kind of a distribution channel of getting them around town to those people in need.
And so now it's kind of like you said, we've got those immediate needs, but that's kind of stuff shifted. We're people. To be honest, that kind of stuff is taken care of now.
The emergency is over.
Yeah, the immediate needs.
But that doesn't mean there's still not a lot that needs to be addressed really quick.
People need their homes rebuilt.
Yes.
People need their lives put back together. That's the part we're at now. Where the medical needs, the food and shelter, and those kind of immediate needs are taken care of.
The emergency's over.
Yeah, people have homes that are not structurally sound, that need to be structurally sound or made, whether that's demolished and restart over or rehabbed or whatever. But that's the kind of work we're doing now.
It is, and we've got really good guidelines, and we've been able to put together the Community Crisis Coalition is what we're calling it.
Okay.
We've got our board set. We've got a fiscal agent now.
Okay.
So we are working on building committees.
Gotcha.
So we are
you
here
need volunteers.
to reach out for people. Yes. And I need people from all walks of life. I was just telling Trent we need people that specialize in job management, because we have the Mennonites ready to come here and help rebuild, but we need them to come here and not stand around.
You need a direction.
We need a direction. We need people that can help with case management, so that when people call, we know where to guide them.
And this is the tricky part of this.
Yes.
It's if we needed a bunch of people to show up with some hammers and saws, that, to be honest, that's sometimes the easy part.
Right.
It's the navigating of the red tape.
Too,
I mean, don't get me wrong, that is all needed. But navigating the system, getting through the red tape, finding where the resources are and bringing them in, how to apply for those, how to grant write or whatever it is.
Right.
There's people that make a living writing grants because it's a very meticulous work to do that. And to get to some of those pools and resources, you've got to have those skill
the money's
sets.
there. We just need the people, and I'm not a grant writer. I'm not a builder. But I can organize people. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully we can get someone that specializes in a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you probably need some lawyer types that can handle the legal side of things. You're going to need your contractors and that type.
Fundraisers. We need door knockers. We need people with hammers. We need everyone to contact us, because I will put them to work. I promise.
Absolutely.
We do have a group
church
right
and
now.
That side we can use. All the above.
We know that like Church on the Move was giving out drywall for a while. And they were setting people up with that. Well, we haven't reached all of their people, so we want to bring what we have to them and bring what they have to us.
That's kind of where you want with a coalition, especially when you're dealing with widespread needs like this. Mm-hmm. Whereas it's a lot better to try to get, instead of 27 people doing 27 different things, let's get all of us on the same page. Yeah. And therefore, you can funnel it into one thing, into one. So rather than, we fight each other to help the same thing and fight to help it, let's all
Well, and we don't want two people getting drywall when one of them needs a new washer. You know,
we got 37 beds over here, but we only got 10 people need beds. But we really need this over here. Let's coordinate this or whatever. That's what a coalition works. And so we would love for folks. And so if there's people already out there doing these things, we'd love for you to come.
And we have a lot of contact around town with everybody that's been kind of working.
Sure.
We want them to come back to us and let them know. You know, we are organizing. We do have something going on still.
Sure.
I know right now, till the end of the month, there's a cleanup effort being done by DHS. They want everybody to leave their stuff curbside. They can also come and help with other types of cleanup. If we heard that there were 30-something houses that still needed to be mucked out. I hope that's not true, but if that is the case, get a hold of us and we will help. Put that together.
Let's get the ball rolling on getting that.
Let's get it finished. You know, and that's what this is about. FEMA let us know that most places at this point in time, Roswell is a little bit ahead of the game. So we like to hear that.
Well, and this is the thing I try to tell people with FEMA and all that, because I mean, you hear stories and you hear, oh my gosh, and this and that, and I'm like, did you go to the actual resource center in the mall when they were here and talk to them? Because this is the thing about government workers. And this is all government workers. And because my dad, my mom, I know all this world. I know how they work. Government and government workers speak a certain language. Government workers know exactly what it is that you're trying to do. But you've got to tell them in a certain way to get in that way. And when you go to that resource center, that's what I was trying to tell you. Look, they're going to turn over every rock for money, but you got to say the right words. Right. And they literally feed it to you. It's like, well, sir, do you have a flooding due to this and that? Yes, it is. Oh, then we can apply for this. And so they really, that's what they do is if you just walk up and say I need flood, then they're going to tell you no. But when you say, but if you say it this way, then we can offer you that. You can call it weird. You can call it. You're right. It's semantical, but this is how our government operates. It's all buzzwords, and if you apply this way, then the world's your oyster. And those people were Sherpas to navigate you through that stuff. Yep. So that's why and they can still do that. But now we're kind of working through the coalitions like you to get to that.
And they've been here every step of the way. So all I can speak to is my experience with FEMA.
But I just know how government works in that way.
And they've really impressed upon us is tell people to come in person.
Yes.
And it makes a big
difference.
This
is why.
Because they can really show you, you know, paperwork is a lot easier
it's like
when
if
you're
ask
looking
for it
at
this way, then I can get you this. But if you ask for it this way, I can only get you this. Yeah. So ask for it this way. That's what they're trying to tell you.
Don't turn anything away. Yes. Don't turn any kind of help away. Please accept this help.
Yeah.
We want people to receive that, and that's what we want to help navigate them through. And whenever, at the end of the day, if we don't get everything covered, then we have private donations hopefully in place that will help finish the
job. And that's kind of where where FEMA leaves off.
Privately, we can pick it up because we have a lot of people out there ready to write checks for us. They just don't know that it's going to go to a rebuild.
And that's kind of also, too, is I think we've got entities that are trying to do the same thing, but maybe are in different phases. And so let's coordinate efforts.
Right.
Let's see if we can maybe pool it where many hands make less work for everyone on this situation. Or something like that, rather than have 12 entities do the 12 things and kind of getting each other way doing it. Yep. Or none of us getting where we want to because all of us are missing a key factor to get it done. Right. You know what I mean? And that's kind of... So where are you at as far as like meetings? Do you have regular meetings? Or
we are having regular meetings. Like I said, we usually meet Friday at noon.
Okay.
And we meet at the Casa building. They've been very generous and let us use their building.
Okay.
Everybody's been a
Maybe
lot of
Maybe if you get
help.
lucky, the dogs are hanging out and you can roll around the floor.
It happens all the time. It's one of the perks.
Little self-therapy while you're
So in the next week, we'll be reaching out to everyone. You can contact me. My cell phone's out there, 575-420-2353.
Yeah.
You can contact the Health Council at 211. They can give you more information.
Absolutely. 211's a catch-all for all this kind of thing.
It is. Yeah. It really is. We've got information.
And Carrie and them are very well versed on what you guys are working on. Yeah.
They're kind rock stars.
Part of the process.
Yeah, they're the whole thing. Yeah. My goodness. So we've got these interest forms we want. If you're interested in committees, We want people to fill those out. We'll make those available.
Kind of talk a little bit, I don't know, Trent, maybe this your area. Talk about some of these kind of committees you're trying to put together, and like as far as like volunteers. What is there certain areas that you're really lacking right now? Like, is it the legal side? Is it the material? All of the above. I mean,
all of the above.
I mean, yeah, kind of like is there a priority? Like right now, we really need lawyers. Right now, we really need.
We're actually lucky enough to have a lawyer working on our 501(c)(3). That was the big challenge. We've got a fiscal agent who has donated their 501(c) to us for now.
Okay.
So we can take money
kind of umbrella
right now.
it in so you can start that process
Yeah,
and get
and-
the tax benefits that come with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. We want to make it appealing to everyone.
Well-
we're all volunteer. We don't get paid. We're not making any money.
This is all grassroots people,
This is it.
and it's really being that conduit, being
And the local businesses. That's what
a road,
really,
and various other companies.
We
are getting
kind of all
involved.
have our own specialties, and so if we can all pool our resources
Sure.
and knowledge.
We're the plumbers. We'll bring in the electricians and bring in
Right.
the carpenters, bring in the whatever,
Yeah, because you don't want me plumbing. It's not. no. Other stuff maybe, but not.
I don't know. I'm not much safer in the electrical world either. I think I can do less damage in the plumbing. It'll stink, but it won't kill nobody.
And that's what we want. You can bring people together. You can talk to people, and we have case management. We have spiritual committees.
Excellent.
So that we're going to have people that are support for other people.
Well, and that's just it too. It's not all physical needs. Some
No.
of it's the emotional, the
Some of it's
mental,
paperwork.
the spiritual, getting the mind right. Because
Yep.
and to be honest, I would argue the more important. You got to get that side, because without that side working, the other side don't matter. It really doesn't. But one begats the other.
And this was a lot. Like you said, Roswell took on a lot. And the good thing about this coalition and what FEMA has told us, we have a lot of examples, like I said, from all over the country. Fulton County in Kentucky and a couple of other places have put together a really strong set of bylaws, and they've turned this into a long-term for the next disaster.
Gotcha.
So that when 5,000 people come down the mountain from Ruidoso, we're ready.
Well, and let's face it, we're not New York City.
Right.
We're a rural community for the most part. We live in a harsh environment.
Yep.
Things happen. It's not a question of if, it's when. I mean, it's going to be, when the next flood happens, when the next storm happens, when
And we
the
don't
next
have the
something
big
happens.
resources, so we're lucky to have companies that can jump in with trucks and equipment
Yeah.
and men and all these things, and kind of do it
So
ourselves.
the goal is to make this a long term. So long when everybody's, good on the flood stuff, we're there. We can start
ready.
building it and
We
start
don't have
building
to
a pool,
start all
start
over
building a
again.
resource, have and it could even expand from there, where you can say, okay, now that we've got this thing triage, where can we create a foundation for
And
what's
this
next?
isn't Roswell. This is actually, we've written the bylaws for Chavez County.
Excellent.
So
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, we're all one
Dexter,
community.
I think there were 300 homes.
Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, all these areas were impacted just
So
as
we want the
badly,
people from
if
there
not
to
worse.
be part of these committees, to represent and have a voice to whenever the resources go out.
And to be honest, some of their needs are even greater, because I mean, Dexter seems to get a bad storm. Like every time Roswell gets one, Dexter seems to get 2 or 3 in between. You know what I mean? It's just
And they're so spread out
Yeah.
because we don't think about the people in Midway and in between,
We just think those are the storms out in the
Think
middle
it-
of the sand
yeah.
that nobody lives in, and no.
There's people
There's
out
some people
there.
out there.
There were people that were stranded for a while.
Yeah.
And we want to reach everybody, so we want people from all over
Well,
the valley.
I could even envision it as it turns into that triage center, kind of like I know with the homeless coalition, things like that. They're trying to start like a nest. That's their end game, or a place where you can house and hope. But also, I feel like this could start that for these kind of things. So when the next flooding or winter
Anything,
storm Goliath
yes.
hits or whatever that is, there's a pool of money. But not only that, there's a pool. Whether it's a triage center that we've got trailers or things we can distribute supplies in that sits in a warehouse somewhere, or it's a caseworkers that are on standby, whatever that
or
vision
if I need
is.
1,000 sandwiches, I know I can call
Yeah.
the Valley Cafe.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I
We
know,
could
there's-
turn loose to our restaurants or whoever
we know,
those places are.
And that's the goal. Hopefully, it goes long term. I want to get this flood taken care of. That's our priority.
But for folks that would like to volunteer, please reach out.
Please reach out. Contact 211.
211
That's
the best
easiest
way.
way.
I know on Facebook, I'm sure you can contact Roads Company directly here.
Sure.
I know Tracy's got just Tracy De La Rosa on Facebook. You can find
Everywhere.
her and reach out to her directly on that too. Like I say, reach out to 211. Carrie Moore and the folks over Health Council can help out here. And then certainly if you're in need still, if you're like, hey, I just heard about these.
Yes.
I kind of missed some of the FEMA stuff. Maybe I can still catch. Reach out. Let's see
Please
where we
reach
can
out,
plug in right now to do some of that stuff too.
Please.
What's the number of our roads if people want to call over there?
It's 622-4977.
Yeah, of course. And if you got, you're sitting waist deep in some other things too, we can help you out.
I think what people may not realize is even though you don't see standing water anymore, a lot of these folks are still not back in their homes.
Well, and that's just it too. It's the flooding may be gone, but it's what the flooding left behind or what internal damage it did. Right. Standing water is not good for structures. It's not good for the integrity of the structures. And just because it looks like it's gone, that wood or that material could be goo, and it could not be doing what it's supposed to do, or your foundation could be cracked because water is pressure. Water is some of the strongest thing on the planet. It can move mountains, literally.
We saw.
And we see it. And so you think your house is going to be a problem? No, it can, and that's where we're at now. People are finding it may look all right, but when you get a fine-tooth comb through there, it's like, no, this is a death trap waiting to happen, and you can't have people living in those. And unfortunately, we do.
We do.
I'm going to say hundreds of homes in this community that probably have people have no business living in right now.
And we have people that want to help. I mean,
and that's
so.
And the sad part is that may be all right until it isn't. Until a windstorm hits or some freak thing that probably would have been fine. Now that turns that into another disaster when that freak thing hits and now a whole block of houses are burning because they weren't structurally sound to begin with. And now how much loss of life we're dealing with and how much this is what we're talking about. Just because it looks something when you drive down the street, it doesn't mean just take this. We saw what happened downtown here. And for the most part, you drive up and down it, you're kind of like, it kind of looks, but you notice there's a bunch of workers every day still. There's still lanes. Things that need fixed. That's infrastructure. Won't cause this thing to collapse in the, your
drive
home's the
one
same way.
street off of Main Street and see what it's starting to look like.
Yeah.
And just around town and looking and fences down. And so we want to get that all taken care of, get Roswell back to what it was.
Takes a lot of bucks and it takes a lot of bodies to do these things. And so let's pull those resources. Let's work together. We got like we said, the FEMAs and stuff aren't camping in our backyard, but we still have the connection to those resources. We've got to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps to connect to those resources. Yep. We would love to be and use this as a guide to prepare us for the next thing. And use this to set the table to say lesson learned. Yes. We live in a harsh climate. Harsh weather happens. It's going to kick our butt for every 5-10 years. Something's going to happen.
And the response was tremendous.
Yeah.
The initial response from Roswell was tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we can get it done.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. And this is kind of, and this is, and to be honest, this is one of the many lessons we're learning from this, because I'm sure, the flood panel, the committees and the dam work and all, they're learning lessons too on some of this stuff. And as a committee are learning, it's like, hey, we don't really have much in place in case something like this happens again. What happens when, because let's face it, a couple more of these and we're wiped. I mean, if we got hit with another one of these right now, I'd fair to see how we do right now.
I mean, I think FEMA said they've given $18 million, and that's nothing,
As I say, and that's a drop in the bucket. Really is.
That's nothing. $18 million. So anyway, we're looking at a big recovery. 2 to 3 years is what they say it'll usually take to clean something. like that up, and I would like to be going by the springtime.
Yeah.
So.
But like you said, we're Roswell strong. We're ahead of the game, and we got to keep doing what we do, and that's and our core is our people, and that's what's going to make us okay. But we got work to do, people. Excellent. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to cover? Anything that we got sidebarred on?
No, I don't think so.
Good deal.
Call roads.
Call roads. You're doing a lot of poo.
Anything.
Or don't want to do a lot of poo. Thank you guys. We very appreciate it. And anything else we can do, let us know. And folks, get out there. And like I said, if nothing else, call 211. They'd be happy to get you more information about everything we just talked about. So good deal. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, it is 7:51. We need to shut our hole for some news and Chaves County sports update and commercials to pay for lunch because I like lunch. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Found shot to death in his home in the 100 block of East Cottonwood Street, just outside Artesia. Garrison was accused of firing a shotgun blast through a back door of the mobile home after a group of people living there had argued about drugs and money that day. In the plea deal, Garrison is ordered to serve 9 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter and 3 years for tampering with evidence. He was granted 3 years time served. 3 earthquakes shook parts of West Texas and southeast New Mexico on Tuesday. The U.S. Geological Survey confirms a 4.6 magnitude quake just after 5 in the morning, about 36 miles south of Whites City. And then another 3.4 shaker about 3 hours later in the same area, and a smaller 2.5 magnitude quake. Several areas of New Mexico, including Carlsbad, Alamogordo, and Roswell, and parts of West Texas, including El Paso, reported feeling the quake, according to the USGS reporting map. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We got basketball going on tonight, a few games, a lot more games on Friday, but over the next couple of days, we've got the state wrestling meet and state swimming and diving championships. Swimming and diving is at Albuquerque Academy. Wrestling will be taking place at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Here's some Roswell wrestlers to keep your eye on because they all come into this meet with a pretty good record. Nathaniel Lujan Jr. for the Coyotes is 41-8. He'll be wrestling at 133 pounds. Keegan Nichols Sr. is 27-3, wrestling at 189 pounds. And how about Noah Lynn, senior at 27-5 on the year? He's a big boy, wrestling at 285 pounds. That all of those will be in the Class 5A meet for the Roswell Coyotes. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all of your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cool high pressure moving in today that will bring a little bit of cloud cover, and our afternoon highs stay fairly cool. Mid to upper 30s, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, some clouds, at least in the evening, clearing after midnight and cold. We're in the mid-teens, and then we're back in the mid-40s and sunny on Friday. Warming trend for the weekend, upper 50s on Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
What's up, my fellow Americans? It's your boy, POTUS numero uno, George Washington. You know how I feel about lies, right? Well, you can get a great deal right now during the President's Day sale all month long at Roswell Nissan. With access to over 300 pre-owned vehicles, quality pre-owned trucks under $30K, and great deals on all brand new 25 Sentras, Altimas, Pathfinders, and Rogues. Great new deals, no cap. Come save a bunch of Washingtons during the President's Day sale, on now through February 28th at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd, or shop online at roswellnissan.com.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Trade up and cash in during the Keys for Cash event at Roswell Honda. Up to $4,000 more for your trade. Roswell Honda wants your trade in, and that means trade values are at an all-time high. With zero down, no payments for 90 days, and low 1.9% APR options available, there's never been a better time to trade up and save big. Don't wait. Be a part of the biggest sale in the history of Roswell Honda. Trade up and cash in during Keys for Cash on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Each year, FFA chapters around the country celebrate National FFA Week. It's a time to share what the FFA is and the impact it makes on our members every day. FFA helps the next generation rise up to meet world challenges by growing leaders, thinkers, and doers. Join Main Trailer Sales in recognizing these students during National FFA Week, February 15th through the 22nd. Help ensure FFA continues to thrive in our community. This message brought to you by Main Trailer Sales, a proud supporter of the FFA. Don't go camping
Here's
without
a
us.
Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:54. Got a few minutes here before we get you to the top of the hour and news and all of that good stuff. Real quick while I got you here, the folks at Allison's Home Supply Warehouse over on 2nd and Pennsylvania, 105 North Pennsylvania here in Roswell. They're celebrating their grand opening of their new warehouse and paint store this Saturday, February 22nd, from 11 to 2. Come on out. They're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, lots of giveaways. They're going to do the ribbon cutting grand opening at 11 a.m. They're going to have some great deals. If you're looking for paint and stuff, they've got featuring Dunn Edwards paints. They'll paint match. Plus carpet and tile all in stock. Remodel or custom build your own kitchen or bathroom. They can help you do that. Everything from bathroom faucets, vanities, bathtubs, design and install cabinets. They can do all that stuff. They can completely remodel pretty much every room in your home. Ceiling fans, light fixtures, they do it all. Countertops, you name it, they got it. Even commercial and residential garage doors, they got you covered. So come on out to the grand opening here for Allison's Home Supply Warehouse on 2nd in Pennsylvania, 105 North Pennsylvania, this Saturday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on out and take advantage of some of the great deals and things they've got going on there. It's, it's especially if maybe if you're dealing with the flood stuff and you're looking to, talk to the folks at Allison's. They can work with you on that stuff. Or if it's, my kitchen looked good in 1987. Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Just saying, if you got, maybe it's coming back in some ways, but if you've got like a refrigerator and a stove and it's those 70s colors, the avocado green or that orange or that brown that was very popular in the 70s. Maybe it's time to, upgrade. Now, I know they've had like resurges where like they'll make stoves and fridges that look like classic old, but are actually new, modern, and all that kind of stuff. So, so if it's one of those, no. But although I ain't gonna lie, some of the best working refrigerators are the ones from like the 70s. Like you get like an old school fridge, like they won't die. So maybe I'm gonna hold that off, moving into the garage and then updating the kitchen there. So, but definitely something worth checking out there. Hey, also don't forget that that tomorrow, February 21st, H&R Block here in Roswell, they're going to be doing their giveaway for a Samsung 65-inch 4K smart TV. You can sign up if you've got your taxes done over at the H&R Block here in Roswell. You can sign up for the drawing there if you go get your taxes done here today or before the drawing tomorrow. You can come out and win that TV. They are having a big grand opening celebration here, 701 South Main, on Friday, February 21st. You can come on out. Like I said, they're going to be doing the drawing, but they're going to come out, meet the staff. They're going to have snacks and things like that. And, of course, you can get your taxes done and all that good stuff, too. So, but that's this Friday, February 21st, at H&R Block here in Roswell, 701 South Main Street. Swing on by there and get your taxes done. And who knows, maybe win that TV. That'd be pretty sweet. I think it would be. Hey, also want to mark your calendars here today at next Thursday at the 27th. I'm sorry, I was a week off. Main Street, Roswell, and the EDC, they're having a Sky's the Limit, get your business ready for the races, for the Reno, the National Championship air races that are going to be coming here. They're actually doing the pilots are getting their licenses and all that here in May. They all have to come in May and fly the course and get certified on it. And then in September will be the actual first air races here in Roswell. But they are having a meeting. Sky's the Limit, get your business ready for the air races, meeting the 27th, next Thursday, 6 p.m. And it's going to be at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce here at West 2nd. Basically, they're addressing stuff like the air races are coming. If you're wondering about the National Championship air races, you get to learn what it is, when will everyone arrive, how you can prepare your business and community for the influx of visitors. Main Street Roswell and the National Air Championship races will have representatives there. Fred Telling, he is the chairman and CEO of the National Championship air races, and Tony Lagoda, he is the president and CEO of National Championship air races. Both of those gentlemen will be joining the meeting here. So you're going to learn the contact and registration for more questions and details. You can email eded@mainstreetroswell.org or 575-914-8017. Again, that's 575-914-8017. And again, that's next Thursday, 6 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce. All right, it is 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It shouldn't be long now. The Senate set to take a final vote today on confirmation of FBI Director nominee Kash Patel. Confirmation expected unless more than 3 Republicans join the Democrats in voting no. Also today, the Senate launching into a marathon of votes on a huge spending proposal.
The Senate is pressing ahead with one of 2 massive spending bills it hopes to use this year under the reconciliation process that can't be stopped by a Democrat filibuster. This bill will focus on the border and national defense. There's no telling exactly how long the so-called vote-a-rama will run, but Democrats are expected to engage in lengthy debate and propose numerous amendments. Bob Agner reporting.
In the words of Israel's president, our hearts, the hearts of an entire nation, lie in tatters. Isaac Herzog's remarks follow the release of the bodies of 4 Israeli hostages. They died while in Hamas captivity in Gaza. They ranged in age from 9 months to 83 years, include the mother and her 2 children. How about a DOGE dividend? President Trump says it's under consideration returning some of the savings of the government efficiency initiative to American taxpayers.
So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt.
There's a growing rift in the relationship between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Zelensky accusing the Trump team of being less than truthful and President Trump of buying into Russian propaganda. Mr. Trump says Zelensky has presided over the destruction of his own country.
I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions of people have unnecessarily died.
Sell-off this morning on Wall Street sees the Dow down 547 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Italian Premier Meloni has visited Pope Francis in the hospital, says he is alert and responsive and full of good humor despite his pneumonia. The Vatican says Francis' overall condition remains stationary, but that blood tests showed a slight improvement in key inflammation indices. Francis also worked in the afternoon with his collaborators, according to a statement issued by the Vatican. Foreign ministers from G20 countries will meet in Johannesburg, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio will not be attending amid diplomatic tensions between South Africa and the U.S. diplomats, including Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. They are expected to attend the gathering. The U.S. to be represented by acting ambassador to South Africa, Dana Brown. Rubio snubbed the meeting after an executive order from President Trump stopped foreign aid to the country over a White House disagreement. Townhall.com. Driven across Seoul in prison transport vehicles, South Korea's President Yoon appeared in 2 different courts today, contesting his arrest on rebellion charges in one and pleading to preserve his presidency in the other, both related to his brief imposition of martial law back in December. Security was heightened at the Seoul Central District Court as Yoon arrived for a preliminary hearing that involved discussions of witnesses and other preparations for his criminal trial. An airlift carrying more than 1,000 Chinese nationals who had worked at online scam centers in eastern Malaysia, or rather Myanmar, began today after the rescued workers were taken across the border to Thailand and put on chartered flights in China. And once again on Wall Street this morning, there is a sell-off underway, and the Dow is now down 588 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Thursday. It is a wee bit chilly out there as prepare for coldness. As our high is 34 today with wind chill values. Going to feel like 0 for today. So
still?
Allegedly. Although we're officially, let me confirm, but we're officially out of the cold weather.
That hasn't changed in the past hour?
Yeah. We are up to 21 now. So it is a nice 21 degrees and overcast here in Roswell. But yeah, it's going to be chilly today. High of 34. So
okay.
Bundle up if you're going out and about today. It's going to feel colder. Like right now, it says it feels like -6 out, according to the National Weather Service.
Okay, speaking of cold feelings, I don't think you ever talked about the NHL All-Star Game or the NBA All-Star Game.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't have a lot of time to talk, so we got to get an interview in it. But yeah, the hockey's going to be interesting because tonight, is it tonight? they're playing in America and the
I'm not sure.
This is the hockey, the All-Star stuff. They did a tournament for the All-Star game this year for NHL. Instead of one game, they made it into tournaments. All the American-born players are playing for Team USA, Canadian for Team Canada, Russia, et cetera, et cetera. And, of course, there's been a lot of talk between the Americans and the Canadians because when the Americans went to play them the other night, they booed, and then they got in 3 fights and kicked their butt. And now they play again tonight in America. So they're kind of, I believe it's in Boston. Or was it last night in Boston? I don't remember. I can't keep up. But anyway, they had a whole kerfuffle about politics and sports, and I just don't care. Like when they get I turn on a hockey game or a football game, I want to watch hockey and football. I don't want to people doing stands. I don't need the protest. I know people feel the way about it, and you're all allowed to. But personally, I just want to watch a stupid hockey game. I just want to watch a football game.
It's still on brand for hockey, though. For kind of like it's still kind of in the spirit of hockey. Like,
I mean, it's hockey. Hockey's very weird. The NHL's more. I don't know if woke's the right term because I don't know if woke is the right term.
Well, no, I'm just saying you expect that kind of stuff from hockey for fights to break out and stuff.
Well, that's hockey, but this was politics. It had nothing to do with hockey.
Sure,
that's what it was. That's why it's a little concerning. I'm like,
aren't they all?
And too many people are so low IQ that they turn this into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hockey, and it's like this has nothing to do with what's going on in the world. None of it. And everyone's turning this thing into this thing, and it's like, stop. Everyone's mad about something, and no one knows exactly what they're mad about because they all think of one thing, and what's going on in another, and everyone is full of wrong information and everything else. So I just get tired of it. Because people are going to say what they're going to say, and they're going to say it, and they're allowed to say it, and say it if you want. I don't care. I just don't listen to people anymore. I don't believe a thing anybody tells me because I think everyone's full of crap. Until I do my own research and my own opinion searching on something. Till then, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you're getting upset because every time you look at a meme on Facebook about something and you hear a certain kind of way, you're going crazy. Stop it. Put that stuff down. Go live your life. Worry about your family. Worry about yourself. Stop worrying about Doge and everything else because I've seen more people lose their ever-loving mind on Facebook because they're worried that they're going to lose everything in their uncle. And it's all political garbage that these trolls on both sides of the party feed to get you all crazy and stirred up and hopped up on this nonsense. And you all drink it in hook, line, and sinker. Stop. Be smart. Stop. These idiots are trying to manipulate you. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Everything they say, there's probably an ounce of truth into about 12 lies. And I don't care what side you're on or what side you're for. It's the same. An ounce of truth, 7,000 lies. That's what's going on there. Yeah. Be smart. Stop sharing that nonsense. Stop getting in fights with your friends on Facebook over stupidness because all of you are wrong. Every one of you are wrong. None of you have the facts.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
You know what you could watch to get your mind off of that is the slam dunk contest that they had at the
I haven't heard
NBA.
them talk about a slam dunk contest in years, so it must have been interesting.
It was interesting. The guy they specifically had is Mike McClung.
Yeah.
This guy who plays for the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
And he's won 3 times in a row now at the slam dunk contest.
Okay.
And it's basically like him getting creative and using props and stuff.
Is he good a player? Like other than slam dunks, is he a good player?
Well, I never heard of him until.
Well, I mean, he's in the All-Star game, but if he's only good at slam dunks, then what's?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
that's only one facet of the game of basketball.
well, and they had another guy for the Spurs who played who was in the slam dunk contest, and he did pretty good, but he's more well known as a player.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I think this guy could do he's a good player, I guess, if he can slam dunk and and stuff.
Well, there's a reason why there's the Harlem Globetrotters. Like some people are good at basketball skills, but not good basketball players.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can spin balls. They can dribble through anything. They can take a shot from 6 miles away, but they play the game and they just aren't that good.
No, and I think it's what he dedicated most of his time to is prepping for the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. It's like, is he a slam dunker or is he a basketball player? Now he's in the NBA, so obviously the guy got some skills. But
yeah, he's good enough to be in the NBA.
Exactly. But I'm just like, is he any good, or we only hear of him once a year because he can slam dunk? The rest of the time, he's sucking up a roster spot on a bench somewhere.
Both answers are true.
All right, very good. All right, we got to get the hour going. I got a little bit longer interview to play this hour here, so I don't care about basketball. It's just not my sport. I just don't have interest in it. And I know why. It's because I grew up in D.C. and my team has sucked since 1978, and no one cares about them. So I didn't care about them either. So that's why.
They didn't have like a bunch of Boston Celtics fans everywhere walking around?
The Washington Bullets won a championship in 1978. We ain't seen anything since then.
You pick a team, Mike. That's it. You pick a high tier team.
I can't do that.
That wins. And
I'm from D.C. I can't pick other teams. It's just weird. I'm going to be a Lakers fan all of a sudden. Come on, guy. Stop. All right, it is 9:13. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cool high pressure moving in today that will bring a little bit of cloud cover, and our afternoon highs stay fairly cool. Mid to upper 30s, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, some clouds, at least in the evening, clearing after midnight, and cold. We're in the mid-teens, and then we're back in the mid-40s and sunny on Friday. Warming trend for the weekend, upper 50s on Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 21 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 65%. Winds are blowing out of the south at 13 miles per hour. We are looking at cloudy skies today, a high of only 34, although it's cloudy. It's bright, but cloudy. South winds today, 15 miles per hour. That's going to make that wind chill value feel pretty chilly. Like right now, they're saying it feels like -6 out there, so bundle up. Mostly cloudy tonight, gradually becoming mostly clear. Overnight low of 15. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny. Friday, a little warmer, 45 for a high. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then, got the hiccups all of a sudden. Friday night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 21. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, we're back into the mid-50s. Mostly sunny, 56 for a high. South winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Sunday, we're back into warm, just hotness. 71 on Sunday, 80 on Monday, 79 on Tuesday, 74 on Wednesday of next week. So weather looking pretty good after today, of course. All right, 9:15. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview we had earlier this week with the folks from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. We had Damon Graham and Desi Aguilar join us talking about their Teen Leadership Institute. This is a thing that the Leadership Roswell Alumni Program is part of Leadership Roswell, the graduates, and they support the program, but some of their other work is work out in the community and stuff. But one of their things they do every year, and they've done it for 20-plus years, is their Teen Leadership Program they do in the spring, and it's coming up in April this year. So we're going to play that interview to learn you all about that. But first, we'll take a quick 3.5-minute break, and then the folks from the Leadership Roswell alumni on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious.
I've heard it said, speaking my mind is easy, speaking it tactfully, not so much. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
Proverbs 15:15 says, a gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words make tempers flare. Sometimes my greatest accomplishment is keeping my mouth shut. There are times when we argue that it would be easy to lash out. So I have a choice to make. I can either feed the fire or quench it with my words.
Julie and I have learned there's going to be arguments, but we've learned to fight and argue, not to be right, but to get the situation right.
So the next time you're in an argument, try saying something kind from a genuine heart to bring peace in your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
Great news, Roswell. Your friends at Roswell Ford have the best relationship advice ever. Break up and do it right now.
Really?
Yes. Break up with your old beater and upgrade for a less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. Right now, everybody gets friends and family pricing on all new and quality pre-owned vehicles with up to $8,000 off MSRP on new Fords with 0 down, 0% APR for 72 months, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition starting at just $10 grand. Making payments on your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your current lease or loan, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. Huge savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand financed. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, Damon Graham and Desi Aguilar back with us. Been a minute. Back with us. Good morning, gentlemen.
We're back. Good morning, Mike.
How y'all doing this morning?
All is well on my end.
Good deal.
Monday on a Tuesday, but you know what? You got to hit it head on.
Well, some weeks you have 5 Mondays. Yeah, and some days you get 5 Fridays. So you take the good with the bad here.
Exactly.
But
it's all good.
Yeah. Before we talk about teen leadership and the events coming up here, let's talk a little bit about what Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is. And, of course, anybody that's listened to this show for any regular period of time is probably familiar with the Leadership Roswell program that's run through the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. It's a program that's actually class going on right now, where every year they have approximately 30 students from Chaves County area that it's learn leadership, but also kind of learn the community, learn how the sausage is made, learning, networking and getting to meet business leaders, political leaders, nonprofit leaders, various community leaders, and just seeing how we could all do our part to make our community a better place. That's really what the program's about. Well, once you graduate from that, then you're a member of the alumni. And the Alumni Association, they support the Leadership Roswell program, through various raising money for scholarships for folks and things like that. But one of it's also a service organization within and of itself. And one of the tentpole projects that the Alumni Association does is the Teen Leadership Institute, which is an annual program that, how many years now, Desi, is it? More than I can count.
20-something? It officially, I believe it started in 98.
Okay.
Oh, geez. Or it may have been 2005. I don't remember, but...
either way, it's got about at least 20 years on us.
It has been. I've personally been involved with it since 2017.
Okay.
And it's continually grown year over year.
Well, and it's a great program. And it's geared for not only for high school juniors and seniors. And it's really and over the years it's evolved. It's been a 1 day, a 2 day. I think it's been as many as a 3 day. We're back to the 2 day.
It's been, like you said, it's progressed. We've kind of hit, in my mind, kind of a sweet spot with the 2 day.
Yeah.
Because if you go any longer than that, then their focus just isn't there.
Sure. And it is a bigger commitment. Like, generally speaking, the youth involved in this are very active folks. They're well-rounded individuals for the most part.
Well, one of the reasons we went to even trying a 3-day was because the major feedback that we got from the kids was they wanted more.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, a testament to
trying to pack a 3-day weekend in a 2-day is really tricky. Yeah. That's what we learned.
But that shows you how much they enjoyed it. You know,
Absolutely.
they just want more and more and more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. But it really is. It's an opportunity for these high school juniors and seniors to spend 2 days learning the different styles of leadership through different activities and exercises that really designed to a couple things, push them out of their comfort zone a little bit. Now don't worry, your kids will be in complete safety. We're not going to be dangling them off cliffs, by tulips or anything like that. They'll be in safe. But
we haven't lost any lately.
Yeah, not since the 2007 incident. No, just kidding. but it designed to put these kids out of their comfort zone a little bit and a chance to kind of learn and lead in those environments and in group settings. And the great part is we have adult leaders there. Yourselves are there as part of it. But this is really youth driven too, where the students that have participated in years past, like your seniors this year, more likely were juniors last year, and they kind of run the show a little bit. And then of course, scholarship opportunities. There's going to be, thanks to our sponsors, we've got several $1,000s of scholarships that are going to be given out to these to some of these youth. That again, the students have an active hand in deciding on that kind of stuff, which is all part of the program too.
One of the things that, like you mentioned, past participants coming back, I'll mention my son. He went through in my older son. He went through in 19, and he's actually going to come back and be one of the adult leaders this time.
Nice.
So it
kind of a full circle moment.
It really is.
Does that mean Dad take a back seat where you could just sit in the lawn chair and kind of son?
You know what? In a lot of regards, yes.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty fired up about it. Because he realizes how it influenced him to some degree.
Sure.
And of course, at the time, he did get a scholarship, so he utilized that.
Absolutely.
He ended up going to NIMI and utilized it there. So you're right. It's coming full circle. He's going to be participating. The program itself has just really grown.
Yeah, and it's really, Desi, that's the great thing about it is it's the Mexico Military Institute has kind of partnered and worked, because like yourself and a few others are, your day jobs at the institute.
Yes, sir.
But your nighttime is part of Leadership Roswell and the Alumni Association. So it's. But
we've always had a bunch of great partners to help us out, and NIMI has always been a key part of that. And
well, they kind of are in the leadership business over there. So.
Yes, but we've had a lot of other businesses step up as well in the past few years.
We've had this year. Well, in the past years, we've had sponsors help with the scholarship aspect. Over the last couple of years, we've really pushed that. When I started helping in 2017, 2018 was the year actually, and we gave out $2,000 worth of scholarships. Well, it has continually grown. Last year, we were able to give out 20,000.
Yeah.
And
that's why I said thousands. I was like,
yes.
I'm not comfortable putting a number because I know it's grown pretty big.
And to me, that's monumental.
Absolutely.
When you stop and figure that you can touch that many lives with that kind of dollar amount, that not only is encouraging them to go to school, but it just says, hey, I was rewarded for putting my best foot forward.
Absolutely.
Because the program, like you mentioned, leadership skills, team building skills, all that stuff. But when you really stop and look at it, what it's doing is it's developing internally. And it's helping them, we are helping to pull out and extract these leadership skills from them.
Sure.
And at the end of it, when they get the scholarship, it's just icing on the cake. Because most of them, almost all of them, come back and say, you know what, even if you weren't given a scholarship, we would come back and do this again.
The information, the experience was worth.
The feedback we get from these kids, at the end of it, we take little surveys and say, what did you like, what did you not, and it's just almost always positive because these kids are gaining not just the monetary aspect of it, but the experience they have, the feels like lifelong friendship sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. They're making connections with people.
Absolutely.
And this is something that, now, three of us were around the same age group, give or take a couple years. We kind of experienced life through the same lens, whereas the folks that are going through teen leadership today live a different life than we did. We were the ride your bikes, go outside and play, come back when the street light comes home on generation. That's
water hose.
us. Yeah. That's our generation. These kids aren't coming from that generation. They come from the world of the phones, the digital. Interpersonal communication is not something that comes into play every day. And so the fact that these kids are pretty much, face to face for 2 days,
right,
having to talk, having to negotiate, having to deal with emotions, because that's, they're putting them in situations where they got to solve a problem, and someone's going to have an idea. There's going to be the bullheads are going to, and then you got you got to have that head bash. You got to have that inner exchange. And so that's valuable lessons that they're solving, if you could, I think this, we talk about all the valuable things, leadership and all that. If nothing else, I think it gives you that communication skill and problem solving skills in a group setting. And if you can navigate those skill sets, they will serve you well no matter where you go the rest of your life. If you have the ability to get people on the same page, even when they didn't come from the same page, what's the man in the land of the blind? The man with one eye is king. You're the guy with one eye in this situation.
and it's so true, because the team building aspect, being able to recognize the attributes of the people you're associated with and how they can plug into fixing or achieving the ultimate goal.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's an invaluable skill, because when, you talk to people every day, and utilizing that promotionally is golden.
You can solve a lot of problems with a conversation. That's all I'm saying. And unfortunately, we live in a generation where we're used to looking at screens and bubbles and not talking to a face-to-face, and we're losing that skill set a little bit. We need to make it because I don't care how the future goes, you're going to need to see a person in face-to-face at some point, and you got to have that ability. So. And students that have and that this is the great thing about it. And this is why we're coming hat in hand. We've got a great list of sponsors right now, but we want to get more sponsors, because yes, we would love to give as many of these students an opportunity to walk out of here with some money. It is not the most important thing, but it certainly is a good carrot to get kids in the door to learn some things.
Absolutely.
Come for a grand and stay for and learn the real lesson. That's kind of.
We also want to get the word out about to all the kids, not just sponsors. We do have applications already coming in. We invite all of the schools in Chaves County to apply, of course, and that includes the private schools, home schools, everybody.
If you're a high school junior or senior, that's pretty much the requirement.
And we've extended it to we've invited Artesia and Fort Sumner.
Yeah. Ruidoso, and everything, of course, here in the Valley.
Absolutely.
Hondo.
Any juniors and seniors are encouraged
from
to
homeschool to RISD to private to Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, whatever, Artesia.
Right. And ultimately, it's somewhat of a competition, because we're only going to take 25.
Yes, there is a limited window of student applications available. Now, there is some dates you need to put on your radar here. The actual weekend will be the 11th and 12th of April. That'll be the weekend of the actual
Friday, Saturday
teen leadership event itself. Now, to get your applications in, that deadline's coming up here in a couple weeks, March 7th. That is the deadline here. I know we're February, 18th or whatever today is. That feels like a long way. It's not.
It'll be here fast.
February's short. You got 10 more days here. You got about just a hair over 2 weeks to get your application in. 17 days, something like that. I know we are the land of procrastinators, and you're like, 7th? I'll get that bad boy in on the 6th at 4:55 p.m.
without a doubt.
But maybe
We're
not do that
encouraging
on this
not
one.
to wait.
Yeah,
part
maybe not
of
do
the
that on this one. Maybe
part of the
not.
application is a video portion as well.
Yeah, it's not
So,
just whip out a application real quick and turn it in. There is a.
You don't just sign your name.
Well, like you said, space is limited, and they will take. There's only so many they can take here, so you gotta dress to impress a little bit on the application. It's
Right.
And you got to sell yourself a little bit, much like Leadership Roswell. If you're interested in becoming that, which we're not in that season yet, but give us a couple months, we'll be there here. Give us about 3-4 months here around May time frame. We'll be talking about new classes here, May June time frame. but much like that, and again, this is for high school juniors and high school seniors, either one. And if you were a high school junior that came last year, by all means, come on down as a senior this year too. Would love to have you back for a second year, and you already know the proof in the pudding on that one. So, and
would like to shout out to some of our supporters that some of them have been with us for several years.
This event would not happen without some great people over there that've been supporting. Maybe not the entire 25 or 20 years, but for a good hunk of them.
Yeah,
right. At least since 17-18. Armstrong Energy, Pioneer Bank, XL Energy. There's a multitude of lots of smaller ones, and or
private individuals
that choose not to be recognized.
They're not looking for their name. They're just saying, "Hey, Damon, here's a couple grand, just get some kids."
Yeah, I mean, and that's that's the grease that makes the wheels turn.
Absolutely.
We've really strived, and Desi's been he's really worked hard over the last couple of years because he's been the chairman of the committee. But we strive to keep the cost down and to a minimum because that just allows more dollars to go back to the kids.
More expensive the program, the less money we can use for scholarships and things like that. And
So
thank God that NIMI has a lot of the resources and things just available anyway to save a little money.
and even last year, we had the Youth Challenge host us for a day as well.
Yeah.
And that was great. They had a rock wall and some other activities we did out there. ENMUR was also a half-day host for us.
That's awesome.
And so, we're expanding out into other
kind of
parts
hitting
as
all
well.
the higher institution entities in around the town here. So,
and they all have so much to offer.
Absolutely.
Youth Challenge is kind of I don't think it's the recognition that it should.
Well, and things like Youth Challenge and Job Corps and these organizations like that, I love because not everybody learns and gets into the world the same way. They don't see it, and things like that. They understand that, and they can still get the best out of someone, even if it's not the traditional path. And that's what I love about what they do is they get. And so it's great to see that Youth Challenge and organizations like that are stepping up and doing their thing because they do provide an opportunity for kids that I get. I'm one of those kids. You get me in a classroom and you start writing things on a board. I'm just gonna glassy eye and pass out, man. You're not gonna get me. I need to be engaged a certain way. I need to touch things and hit them to get them to work, and that's how I learn. So, not everybody learns that way, and Youth Challenge allows people that don't learn this way to learn. Anyway, sorry about that. I got on a sidebar.
That's okay. That's okay.
No, we do encourage everybody to attend, to apply, but we do want to get the word out. I know the flyers have gone out to all the schools and everything.
Is that the best place to get applications at your counselor's office, or can you get them online on Facebook or on the web somewhere?
It is on the Leadership Roswell Alumni Facebook page.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's anywhere else.
I think that's the only place.
Okay.
But, they can always email us. There is a QR code on that flyer, but if not, you can just email leadership. I'm sorry. What is it? Roswell Teen Leadership. Sorry.
I was like, look on the flyer. Hold on.
It's Roswell Teen Leadership @gmail.com.
When you get older, you don't remember the dots and dashes.
Or when you're juggling 6 or 8.
Yeah, there's so many emails we have.
Why can't everything just be LRAA.com and that's it, or something as simple as possible? But your high school guidance counselor should have application. If they don't, but get on to just get onto Facebook, type in Leadership Roswell Alumni Association.
Yeah.
It should pop right up, and you'll find either the flyer with the QR code or the link to the application. But get those in by the 7th. Do not, and you know what? It's okay if you get them in, by the end of February. That'd be all right, too.
We'll take that.
Yeah, definitely so. And if any businesses out there want to support us, our goal is to actually exceed the 20,000 this year. We are a 501(c), so any donation is tax deductible.
Absolutely. We'll give you a note for your accountant.
Most definitely. And if you're out there and you want to sponsor or help us with expenses or donate something, certainly reach out.
Even if it's not a monetary thing, I know we've had some restaurants want to donate some food or something like that.
They're high school juniors and seniors. They eat a lot.
Yeah,
and they
you can sponsor some snacks or something. If
Absolutely,
you want. So we'll take that.
Yeah,
but Roswell Teen Leadership at gmail.com.
And please, I highly recommend if you're a high school junior or senior, please apply. This is a great program. I'm telling you, you're going to make friends. You don't realize it. Hang out with these other peers for 2 days, you're going to make friends that you're literally 20 years from now probably going to stay in touch with, especially in the world of social media where you can kind of stay in touch with everybody now. It's kind of like I've literally done things like that. It's like it's when you do things that kind of push you a little bit with another group of people, it tends to create a bond there sometimes. And I can't explain it unless you've been in a part of it. And teen leadership absolutely creates a little bit of that. So definitely highly recommend you check it out.
Yeah, juniors and seniors.
Absolutely. Again, deadline to get your applications in is March 7th. Mark it on your calendars. It'll be the weekend of April 11th and 12th. Those 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Block off all day, both days there for that event. Again, look for Leadership Roswell Alumni Association on Facebook, or you know what, too. If you know a Leadership Roswell alumni, Patrick Smith for all scouting. He's he can get you in touch with. Of course, if you know Desi or Damon here directly, or any leadership alum, they'll steer you in the right direction.
Well, and just a quick plug. We are, as the Alumni Association, we're trying to develop a database of all past alum.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the digital age doesn't work in our favor because everybody changes emails sometimes like they, but so if
that one's got to me spam, I'm getting a new one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you are an alum, please reach out and contact us so that we can, plug you back in. There's committees that you can participate on. The board, of course, we do the teen leadership, and then we do the candidate forum, and we have the annual banquet and all those different things. And we're really trying to develop the database. Even if you're not interested in participating, at least get us your contact information so we can put it in the database so we can reach out.
Absolutely. And there's different ways to utilize. I mean, like you said, the Leadership Roswell programs are going on for 30 plus years. So there's a lot of alum. And we would love to have, folks, even if it's just to come to the banquets, like when we do when we honor our community leaders and things, to come support to that. Or, certainly if you want to get more actively involved in coming to the meetings or serving on the teen leadership or serving in maybe the candidate forum committees, they'd love to have you there. But even if it's just coming out to the events and supporting a little bit and saying, hey, come out to the banquets, or hey, I can't come physically, but here's $100 for the event or something like that. That would be helpful. So, but reach out to us, and I know, because I know there's a bunch. There's 30 plus years of alumni, and each class is about 30. I'm not a math wizard, but that's like $3,000 alum out there or something like that. So
there's a bunch, and we'd like to get back in contact with as many as possible because many hands make light work.
Absolutely.
And being able to plug them in to the teen leadership would be great because there's a lot of untapped, thoughts and ideas and everything out there that can help develop it.
And let's face it, these kids that have been doing this that you're going to be seeing out on the 11th and 12th, some of these kids will go on to other parts of life and go on to the world, but some of these kids are going to be your next mayors, they're going to be your next county commissioners, they're going to be your next president of the college. They're going to be the next head honcho of Leprino, whatever, major industry. These are going to be those folks that are going to be running the show when we're all sitting over in the nursing home complaining about everything. Nursing home's going to be weird with Metallica blaring in there here in about 10 years.
Why is that weird?
I mean, but you know what I mean. It'd be like, smells funny, but Metallica's playing. So much pudding. But but anyway, please, we would love to have you support and get and of course, if you want to learn more about Leadership Roswell and things, please don't hesitate to reach out. There's a bunch of alumni that'd be happy to talk to you about.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Good deal. Did we get it all? Anything we missed?
I think so.
Yeah.
Again, deadline is March 7th. You don't have to wait that long. You can start getting your applications in this weekend. But
even if you have any questions, you know, just want to find out a general information, just email me.
Absolutely.
I'll be happy to answer that.
And don't forget this, like we can only take 25 is the cap. So, you know, put some time on your application process, dot all the I's, cross the T's. That's a lot of times half the process is paying attention to instructions and following directions.
And we definitely want to see representation from all the schools.
Absolutely.
You know, I think last year we had 8 or 9 different schools represented.
Yeah.
So
let's get everybody from every district in the county to every private school, maybe a few homeschoolers in there, you know, maybe a few maybe from Eddy County down there too. Or
it's really interesting because the different schools add different flavor to the whole mix. And, you know, typically a lot of times you would think that, the ones that are already receiving scholarships are the ones that apply. A lot of times not.
Mm-mm.
You know, we have a great mix of students, and then breaking the ice between them and getting them to bond and gel together to achieve the goals is huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Because I imagine you also you'll get a few of the types that they apply for every scholarship. But I'm going to gather you also get a lot of the types here that, I'm not going to qualify for that. But then they can see this one. It's like, well, it's 1,000 or whatever. Yeah, that's a reachable goal.
Yep.
Right.
I can do that. And then they apply for this, and that inspires them to say, no. Now that you see how this works, let's start throwing everything at the wall and see what sticks. So they maybe learn that lesson in their teen leadership.
And we do mix them up too. You know, we don't let them stay with just their friends.
Oh yeah.
We
ain't letting you get too comfortable.
we take them all and we dress them all the same. You know, we give them a T-shirt, and so everybody looks the same. And you know, they're not allowed to wear their school colors or whatever.
Right.
They have to mix in with everybody else, and so nobody really knows what their background is really.
Yeah, not until they get down and sitting and talking and everything.
Right.
But
Right.
So there could be some bulldogs and some rockets and some coyotes and some maybe
we do it that way every year, and it works great.
A Dexter Demon in there and a few. We got them all.
And it's amazing that within just a very short period of time, all of that goes away.
Yep.
You throw them in the mixer or in the blender and blend it all together, and there's nothing. There's no.
That's a life lesson that a lot of people need to learn, not just kids and everything else. But we there's nothing wrong with celebrating your culture, your individualisms, and everything else, because that's a good thing. Celebrate where you come from.
Right.
But at the same time, maybe realize that you have more in common than you do. And that's the thing is, even I don't care what anybody says. You can come from you could have two people that come from two completely different parts of the globe, never intermingled at all. And then they meet, and sure, they're going to have different likes, different culture, different things, but they're going to want the same thing.
Right.
They're going to want the happiness, the best for themselves, the best for their families. They're trying to do the best in the world that they can with what they've got. They're all doing the same thing. And when you realize that, you're kind of like, oh man, we are the same. And then this is what teen leadership's about. It breaks down those barriers, and you're like, man, we're all kind of, we have more in common than we think. We're all humans trying to make the best of it.
We help develop those some of those character attributes that they don't realize they have. Their strengths and weaknesses. And we're like, hey, did you know that you're really good at this?
Yeah.
And
absolutely. It does. It pushes them. It gives them confidence. It tests them. It gives an opportunity to do things that they normally wouldn't maybe have tried themselves, and when they succeed at it, gives them confidence and gives them the ability to think, you know what else can I do from here? And that's what this program is all about. It's allowing these young juniors and seniors to develop, to get the skill sets to allow them to succeed in whatever path adulthood takes them.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yep. And it's a lot of fun too.
And I think one of the testaments to it is that almost every junior that has gone through the program came back as a senior.
Yeah. That's that is a very, when you have nearly 100% revisit, that speaks volumes. It's like you got to kick them out now. They don't want to go.
Yeah. Well, they not only did they learn something, but they realized, oh my gosh, this is invaluable.
Absolutely. Yeah, and by the way, that's fun. They have fun. They make friends. They're doing things, and they like climbing and the stuff, and have it kind of turns into a game in some of it for them. But I'm just telling you, give it a try. It's going to be April 12th, 11th, and 12th. The deadline to get your applications in is March 7th. Please reach out, and if there's a business or individual that'd like to support this, donate for more scholarships.
Right.
More money is more scholarships they can give out, and we would really appreciate that. Please reach out to any alum. And
I'll say this, if you do want to sponsor, if you put $500 or more into the kitty, we will put your logo on the T-shirts that the kids are wearing.
Oh, yeah, we'll market you up if you want or not.
You've got 30 kids, very astute, well-behaved kids running around with your logo on their shirt.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can market you up, or if you want to be as incognito as possible, we can do that too. But whatever, we do appreciate it. And we thank you for supporting our community, because I look at things like this is how you fix our future. You want a good future, invest in things like this. That gives tools to our next generation that's going to be running the show here. So, good deal. Well, I'm sure you guys got about 37 fires to stomp out, so I'll let you get on to your day lives.
Exactly. Yep.
But thank you guys, and we'll see you here. And please let me know if we can do anything else, or maybe as we get a little closer to the deadline, just get a last minute wink, wink, nod, nod. Don't forget, get your applications in.
Definitely.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. Mike.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. Right before his murder trial was to get underway, Nathan Garrison agreed to a plea deal. Garrison was to face trial for the murder of Tyler Grantham, who was found shot to death in his home in the 100 block of East Cottonwood Street, just outside Artesia. Garrison was accused of firing a shotgun blast through a back door of the mobile home after a group of people living there had argued about drugs and money that day. In the plea deal, Garrison is ordered to serve 9 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter and 3 years for tampering with evidence. He was granted 3 years time served. 3 earthquakes shook parts of West Texas and southeast New Mexico on Tuesday. The U.S. Geological Survey confirms a 4.6 magnitude quake just after 5 in the morning, about 36 miles south of Whites City. And then another 3.4 shaker about 3 hours later in the same area, and a smaller 2.5 magnitude quake. Several areas of New Mexico, including Carlsbad, Alamogordo, and Roswell, and parts of West Texas, including El Paso, reported feeling the quake, according to the USGS reporting map. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
They just can't be this stupid. This is now the hill the left in America, the radicalized, extremely radicalized left wants to go. They want to dig their heels in on all of this reckless abuse, corruption, waste, fraud. And if that's the hill they want to die on, that's fine with me. But because they're not going to win in the end. This is not what our framers and our founders intended in any way, shape, manner, or form. It's just simply not. It is not what the American people want. And the American people have every right to be very angry.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
You know, this country was founded on freedom from a country that forced us to buy overpriced tea and tried blockading us and then we dump their tea into the ocean. How'd that work out? Well, it's time to throw out your overpriced big wireless contract, and you won't sacrifice service thanks to my cell phone provider, Pure Talk. Now, my cell phone company says no to inflated prices, and with a qualifying plan of just $45 a month, you can get an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for nothing. And yes, this is for premium service. You get unlimited talk and text and 25 gigs of data and mobile hotspot at a fraction of the price of those big guys. So get your new iPhone 14 or Samsung Galaxy for $0. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword SAVE NOW, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you make the switch. It's fast, simple, and easy. Pound 250, keyword SAVE NOW for your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We got basketball going on tonight, a few games, a lot more games on Friday. But over the next couple of days, we've got the state wrestling meet and state swimming and diving championships. Swimming and diving is at Albuquerque Academy. Wrestling will be taking place at the Rio Rancho Event Center. Here's some Roswell wrestlers to keep your eye on because they all come into this meet with a pretty good record. Nathaniel Lujan Jr. for the Coyotes is 41-8. He'll be wrestling at 133 pounds. Keegan Nichols Sr. is 27-3, wrestling at 189 pounds. And how about Noah Lynn, senior at 27-5 on the year? He's a big boy, wrestling at 285 pounds. All of those will be in the Class 5A meet for the Roswell Coyotes. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all of your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cool high pressure moving in today that will bring a little bit of cloud cover, and our afternoon highs stay fairly cool. Mid to upper 30s, might be a little bit breezy. Overnight, some clouds, at least in the evening, clearing after midnight and cold. We're in the mid-teens, and then we're back in the mid-40s and sunny on Friday. Warming trend for the weekend, upper 50s on Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Although Walmart enjoyed strong sales and solid profits in the latest quarter, its outlook for the rest of the year is anything but rosy. Its shares tumbled about 8%, and when Walmart sneezes, other retailers catch a cold. Shares of Target fell 2.4%, Costco slipped 1.7%. The latest jobs report is just in. Slightly more Americans applied for unemployment last week compared to the week before. Filings rose 5,000 to 219,000. The unemployment rate hovers at right around 4%. President Trump says he's thinking about buying used Boeing aircraft, perhaps from a seller overseas, to use as Air Force One. The president's upset over the embattled plane makers' delays in producing two specially modified aircraft to be used for presidential purposes. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today. 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
After Solomon became king of Israel, God spoke to him in a dream and told him to ask for whatever he wanted. Solomon started by thanking and praising God. He was humble and admitted he didn't feel like he was up to the task of being king. Solomon then asked for a discerning heart to know right from wrong. God was pleased with his request and gave him what he asked for. Sounds like the young king already had some wisdom when he made his request of God. Jesus taught that everyone who hears his words and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, yet it did not fall because it had a foundation on a rock. But everyone who hears his words and doesn't put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the house fell with a great crash. So how do we gain wisdom? Well, looks like we put the words of the Lord into practice.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:59. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, I invite you to check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. Of course, we played some replays today. Don Well with Friends of Bitter Lake joined us in the 7 o'clock hour. Tracy De La Rosa and Trent Bates from the Community Crisis Coalition in the 8 o'clock hour. And, of course, we just had the folks from Leadership Roswell Alumni Association interview this hour as well. So all of that, ksvptv.com. Just click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel there. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have a warm day. Warm up. Stay warm out there. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. Longtime Kentucky Republican Senator Mitch McConnell says he will not seek re-election next year, thus ending a long career in the Senate. Hamas has handed over the bodies of 4 more Israeli hostages. That includes a mother and her 2 small children. Also among the dead, an 83-year-old man. The Senate today working on a massive spending proposal. Both sides admit it will be a long day. President Trump says he likes the idea to give some of the savings from the Department of Government Efficiency back to U.S. citizens.
Speaking at an investment conference in Miami, the president praised the work of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency.
There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon.
Doge has already led to thousands of federal government employees being fired or laid off. On Air Force One, the president was asked about a Doge dividend.
I love it.
He says this could lead to even more saving. Ed Donahue, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, enhanced safety features credited for all passengers and crew surviving this week's crash.
All 80 people aboard survived this week's fiery Delta Airlines crash in Toronto, despite the plane flipping upside down. Peter Carlson among them.
I've got a laceration, an abrasion, some bruises on my legs, bruises on my ribs, and that's, but alive, and everyone's alive.
He credits passengers' cooperation and the crew's expertise. Experts cite technological advances, too, such as wings where fuel tanks are stored that easily detach, and seats built to withstand intense pressure. I'm Ben Thomas.
Snow-packed roads leading to hundreds of crashes throughout Virginia and North Carolina. One involved more than 50 vehicles. More on these stories, townhall.com.
For many out on the streets with no address, when the hope dies, it's hard to be found.
You get these people off our streets now.
It's not that simple. They're human beings. Where are they meant to go?
Homelessness could happen to anyone.
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Their story is our story.
You never know in life why things work out the way they do. Never give up.
No Address, starring William Baldwin, Ashanti, and Ty Pennington. In theaters February 28th. Get your tickets at noaddressmovie.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I love the product. I wouldn't be without it. Ever since I started that product, I remember seeing an ad way back. That's what convinced me. I tried it, and so I've been a believer. Not only that, but I mean, the way I feel, nothing compares with it. So I'm a lifer with it. I'm not going to change.
Go to balanceofnature.com and get 35% off your first preferred set as a new preferred customer by using discount code BALANCE.
Driven across Seoul in prison transport vehicles, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol appeared in two different courts earlier today, contesting his arrest on rebellion charges in one and pleading to preserve his presidency in the other. Correspondent Rachel Lee.
The trial is focused on allegations that Mr. Yoon illegally declared martial law and attempted to stay in power through unconstitutional means. And prosecutors reveal that they have over 70,000 pages of evidence. Now, his lawyers are arguing that his arrest was politically motivated, while prosecutors insist his detention is necessary, given the severity of the charges.
Ivory Coast officially taken control of the last remaining French military base in that country as a majority of French troops departed from countries all across West Africa. 80 French servicemen, though, are staying. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Meta plans to build the longest undersea internet cable in the world.
The Facebook and Instagram parent company expects the multi-billion-dollar project to be completed by the end of the decade. The more than 31,000-mile cable will connect the United States, India, Brazil, South Africa, and other regions. About 95% of all global internet traffic is delivered by undersea cables.
And that is Tasha Stevens reporting. Walmart delivering another year of strong sales and profits, but this year appears to come with a new challenge in an uncertain economic landscape thus far. The outlook from the nation's largest retailer for 2025 as much as 27 cents below analyst projections. And Wall Street is reacting in a huge way. The bloodletting is underway. The Dow is down 640.